Arkansas. John Nabors, Joe Franklin, broadcasting live from the Hoggs Meat Market Studios with you today. And thank you, as always, for making us a part of your afternoon this afternoon. Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend, as we are going to have a Reaction Monday presented by Fleet Management Services here today. We want all of your reactions from the sports weekend. You can call or text in at 501-661-1037. Get after us in the Asher Wrecker Live fan feedback. After me on Twitter at BuzzJohnNeighbors. And today we're going to talk about pretty much everything in the sports world. Not only football from the college football and NFL landscape, but we'll dive into some of the Major League Baseball playoffs. Pretty interesting stuff from there, too. We'll have some fun kind of previewing what's going to be happening this week, even some basketball talk, because just as a fun little reminder, we'll be live from SEC Basketball Media Days this week, which is kind of interesting because it's called the SEC Tip-Off of 2024, I believe is how they put it. So it's a little bit different, but it's essentially the same thing, and we'll be doing that on Wednesday and Thursday and bringing you some of that coverage from down there, too. So it's going to be a lot of fun to dive into that. And Joe, it's just keep talking about, everything that happens from the sports weekend. But I'm also just really excited because I got to sit here today, or at least this morning, and start to discuss or wonder, when do I turn my heater on? Because it's that type of fall weather now. It's like you're getting it to where it's nice and chilly. Like it's get colder at night. It's fine. It's great during the day, colder at night. Football weather. I cannot wait to have the rest of the football season going on, but it just feels like mid-October football right now and weather-wise.
Depends on what you want to do money-wise. You want to save some money, don't turn it on just yet, and kind of bundle up just a bit and enjoy the crisp, cool weather that is going on. But, we know that it's going to get a lot colder than what it is.
Yes, and I'm kind of excited for it, and I say that, and then about 2 weeks into it, I'll be tired of it and want it to go back to summertime. But
it seems like that the summer or the hotter weather is getting shorter, because it doesn't seem like long ago where we were dealing with some cooler weather. Now, personally, I enjoy that, but for the Arkansas summers, we had a stretch of it, but it doesn't seem like it's as long. Seems like we're getting colder weather more so throughout the year.
Yeah, and then watching about 2.5 weeks, it'll get back up into the 90s. You just because
it does that.
That's
for sure.
That's what happens here. But again, it's just great to be here in the middle of fall and have so much going on in the sports world. And of course, once again, coming to you a little deja vu on a Monday, on a Reaction Monday, that is, about the Arkansas Razorback football team. Once again, losing, not surprisingly, to Alabama, and now they sit at 2-5. They've lost 5 straight games. I don't think anybody really felt good about going into this matchup whatsoever. But maybe the way that the game went and the final score, still a loss nonetheless. 24-21 is maybe not something that a lot of people expected. It was a game that Arkansas was leading 6-0, and then Alabama went on a 24-0 run, and then Arkansas went on a 15-0 run. But at the end of the day, Arkansas still did not do enough to win the game. Had some bright spots, had some highlights, had some good things, but still doesn't matter if you don't get the job done. And Arkansas is now in desperation mode, as they have now lost the fifth straight game. And what is that now, 17 to Bama? Is it 16?
17. It is 17.
Good deal.
Now, they had something run across the ticker where it said Arkansas has lost 16 on-field games to Alabama. Now, if they were just meaning football, why not just say football? Like, what does that mean, on-field games?
Yeah, I didn't see that. On-field?
Yeah.
Maybe is it
like it's another ridiculous stat they're throwing out there, but that was the wording on it. 16 consecutive on-field games.
I bet you they put it that way, which I agree. It's a weird way, because I think Alabama got their game in 2007 revoked or whatever, their wins from the NCAA.
They need to stop.
Yeah, that's dumb. Just on field. Yeah, just say that they've lost that many games, because nobody actually cares what the NCAA vacated or didn't. But 17 straight, man. 17 straight. And Arkansas had an opportunity even at the end of the game. They had the ball in their possession. They went down the field, scored a touchdown. They could have taken the lead, or worst case scenario, kicked a field goal. But had an issue there where, man, if Rashad Dubinion just busts through there, and instead of tripping, I believe over one of the offensive linemen's feet, he may have done something with it, but you can't have, like, those are the types of plays, those one little plays here and there that can make the difference in the game. And Arkansas had the same deal too, where what was it, 5 straight 3-and-outs, I believe they had right there in that stretch, and then turned it on too little too late. Like, that's what's frustrating. It's like, okay, you did it there, but why wasn't it there a little more consistently where you go down the field and get some points? Because you just always feel like you're playing behind and having to do something late in the game when it's too little too late.
It's just the difference in how the game would be discussed. If they come away with a win, that's something that's forgotten and it's just pushed to the side. But everything is amplified and there's a focus on it whenever they do come up short and there's a loss. And Arkansas has played well against the better teams, it seems like, in the SEC, but still it's a loss and they've been coming up short.
Yeah, I feel like, Joe, with the particular games, which nobody's happy, they're 2-5. Like, we're all frustrated, and it's not good, and it's hard to be excited about what's going forward. But it's also one of those things where if you said before the season started, hey, the only guarantee I could give you is that Arkansas is going to lose to Alabama on the road 24-21 this year. I think most people will be like, well, I mean, that's all right. Yeah, I know it's tough when you like to win, but going on the road to Bama and playing them that close, man, it must be a good year. Or the same thing with LSU. You're going to go down there in Death Valley at 6:00 at night, and you're going to lose by a last-second field goal. I think most people will be like, oh, I'd like to win, but hey, that's still that's a tough place to play. Must be a pretty good year. But the problem is that you've had those every single game, and it's just piled up to where it doesn't matter about how close you've been. It doesn't matter about how great effort it was against a team that was superior against you. It doesn't matter because you've lost 5 straight. And if you were able to win a few of those, it'd be a whole different story. But the close, only counting in horseshoes and hand grenades, I mean, that might be what this team's motto is this year, because close ain't getting it done. You're still 2-5. No one's going to care at the end of the season. Well, you played these games close. They're going to care about what your wins and losses are.
The team is quickly wanting to turn the page and not only try to come back and get a win at some point, but they are returning home. So they're returning home and they're in a 5-game losing streak. They're trying to get that turned around, get a win. So as far as the Alabama game itself, they're quickly wanting to turn the page and get on to Mississippi State.
Yes, and that's what's going to be happening this weekend, 11 a.m. Homecoming for Arkansas, literally, that they're going to be making their way back after 30-plus days of being on the road. So it'll be good to see the action back. And, I mean, this is, I hate to use the must-win thing, but this game against Mississippi State's everything. If you can't have the performances or at least the efforts that people are appreciative and applauding you for against Alabama on the road or Mississippi State on the road or LSU. Like, none of that matters if you go and you take on Mississippi State and you lose this weekend. Like, it takes away all of that effort that you gave if you can't beat them this weekend.
It's one that coming into the season, most people circled as a win. And if you lose this game, then you're really up against it where you have to win you have to win out to even have a chance for a bowl.
Yeah. I never thought that would be a phrase that would be uttered for the season. You have to win out to get to a bowl game. Like, that sucks.
Not there yet.
Yeah,
but if there's a loss to Mississippi State, that's where it will be.
Right. And
but 4 of the last 5 is still going to be tough.
Oh yeah. And yeah, you get to be at home and you got a bye week, which is nice, but there's still not anything that this team is pointed to that to make you feel bad. In fact, Sam Pittman even said today, and people are getting after him, and that's fine. But I think it made a lot of sense where he's like, we've proven this year that we're a good football team, but we just can't prove that we know how to win. And I mean, I get what he's saying because he's like, again, you don't want to hear it, but right. I understand that he's saying, like, we've proven that how I took it. We're proven that we're competitive. We're proven that we can hold our own with anybody. We just can't prove that we know how to win. And I think that there's a lot of truth to that because they have proven that they're competitive. But at the end of the day, that doesn't matter.
Nobody wants to hear that.
No. Like, you don't get.
They want to see the results.
Yeah. Do you think? I mean, nobody's buying season tickets next year to be like, well, I want them to be competitive. It's like, well, they didn't make a bowl game, but hey, they were competitive in 4 of those games. Like, nobody cares about that. They want to win. We all want to win, and that's where Arkansas finds themselves in, and just trying to find some sort of win. But I will say, just a few of our positives though. How about Cam Little? Man, that guy.
He's been great all season.
Jeez. Like that 55-yarder that he hit in the game, I felt like that would have been good from 65. So that was a nice bright spot. But also, shout out to Landon Jackson. Finally got to see him really have a great game and named SEC Co-Defensive Player of the Week, which we'll talk about. But still, getting out there, 11 total tackles, 3.5 sacks. That was the type of performance you're hoping to see out of him in many games this year, but I was glad that he got after it. And well, at least in this game, he was abusing that left tackle for Alabama, and he just had a great performance. So I think he deserves a little credit for that.
Yeah, absolutely. He put it all out there, and the effort was there. He tried, and just like the team effort was there, but he would rather take a win here than have those type of stats.
Yeah. I mean, I think I don't want to speak for him, but I'd be like, I'd rather take a win than me not even play. Like if it meant me not playing, but we won, I would sign up for that. I'm sure a lot of those guys would, but you got to salvage the season somehow. That's all you can do now. You can't really just look at the season as a total success no matter what, but you can salvage it. And it starts this weekend against Mississippi State at 11 a.m. And you got to take care of business, because if you don't, and it might be the worst case scenario and the worst nightmare for everybody. But still, a lot of things to talk about in the college football and NFL landscape. It's a Reaction Monday presented by Fleet Management Services. We'll talk about all those things, but also get to your phone calls and text messages. What do you make of it, folks? Are you just done with it? Don't care? Whatever? Moving on to basketball? Do you still feel like it can be salvaged? Do you at least appreciate the effort the team's giving? Let us know by calling or texting in at 501-661-1037. We'll get to that and a lot more here on Out of Bounds, so stay with us.
Razorback legend Quinn Grovey joins Randy Rainwater and Rick Schaefer on Drive Time Sports every Wednesday afternoon at 4. Brought to you by the DHR Group of Sonic Drive-Ins.
This is Sports Center.
Arkansas fell to Alabama 24-21 in Tuscaloosa over the weekend. After the game, Coach Sam Pittman talked about the losing streak and the goals for the rest of the season.
Surely there's going to be some team that's not ranked in the top 15 in the country that's going to play us, at some point at our place. We just got to continue to fight and all those things. We got a hard road to get bowl eligible, but that is our goal. We've got to start it Saturday.
The Razorbacks will get to play an actual home game in Fayetteville this upcoming weekend for the first time since September 16th. They'll host Mississippi State for an 11 o'clock kickoff. And tonight on Monday Night Football, the Chargers will host the Cowboys at 7:15. Radio coverage can be heard on the Buzz Join in Progress at 8. I'm Christian Weaver with the Buzz Radio Network.
Pat Bradley joins Out of Bounds every Thursday, courtesy of Motorsports Authority, to discuss all things sports and so much more. Motorsports Authority has 2 great locations with hundreds of vehicles to choose from. Check them out online at msastore.com. Pat Bradley from Motorsports Authority on your fun and game station, 103.7 The Buzz.
Are you a fan or are you the ultimate fan? Play the Alon DK Ultimate Sports Fan Package Sweepstakes for a chance to prove you're the world's greatest armchair quarterback, all from the comfort of your own home theater. Visit an Alon DK near you to enter for a chance to build your own home theater with a $5,000 Best Buy gift card plus a YouTube TV gift card. Your ticket to streaming your favorite games this season. Visit an Alon or DK today and score big. No purchase necessary. 18 or older. Message and data rates may apply. For official rules, eligibility, terms and conditions, and privacy policy, visit myalon.com/ultimate sports fan sweeps.
From sales, service, parts, and rental equipment, River Valley Tractor does it all and does it right. Your leading Kubota dealer is right around the corner with 5 locations throughout Central Arkansas. River Valley Tractor, serving Central Arkansas and Bryant, Sherwood, Conway, Russellville, and Pine Bluff. Work smarter this year, not harder, with River Valley Tractor. Online at rivervalleytractor.com. River Valley Tractor, closer than you think.
Unless you've been living under a rock, you've heard of the current turmoil in the auto industry. Rising used car prices and declining new car inventory is clearly a real possibility. But this month, Watney Chevrolet strikes back with 0% on 2023 Silverados. Call 501-982-2102. Watney Chevrolet in Jacksonville anticipated today's car climate months ago by ordering extra new inventory and assembling a fleet of quality used cars. Call 501-982-2102. Trade now, because prices could soon be headed in the wrong direction. Plus, get the relief of no payments until after New Year's. Watney Chevrolet will get you right before the storm on the horizon. Watney Chevrolet, 1301 TP White Drive in Jacksonville. Call 501-982-2102. WatneyChevrolet.com. Chevrolet, find new roads. All offers with approved credit.
Jackalope Cycling is passionate about the Arkansas outdoors. To help you enjoy this beautiful state, Jackalope offers an array of bike rentals to get you on the trails.
What about fly fishing from a bicycle?
You can't do that, but Jackalope also offers fly rods, reels, waders, fly fishing accessories, outdoor and camping gear.
Yeah, it'll be tough riding a bicycle in waders.
But you can still enjoy the Arkansas outdoors with Jackalope Cycling in Russellville or jackalopecycling.com.
Make plans now to be at the Pine Bluff Regional Park Saturday, October 28th for one of the world's largest barbecue championships. It's the annual Sissy's Log Cabin Smoke on the Water Championship presented by Saracen Casino. Food trucks, sampling, craft vendors, games for the kids, and it's all free for the entire family. And this year's event is headlined by Bluff It, featuring the Son of a Sailor Band's tribute to the one and only Jimmy Buffett and the Coral Reefer Band. For more information, visit smokeonthewaterbbq.com. This ad paid for with accommodations to take funds in Arkansas's Land of Legends Tourism Association funds.
Kevin Harlan here from Monday Night Football on Westwood One. Join me along with Mike Golick from Los Angeles when the Chargers take on the Cowboys. Can Micah Parsons and the Dallas D lead them back to the win column? Or will quarterback Justin Herbert and the Chargers come off their bye with a big win? Join us to find out on Monday Night Football.
Right here on 1037 The Buzz.
Snap into action this NFL season with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets, guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. That's $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is so easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. So visit FanDuel.com/win and kick off the NFL season. That's FanDuel.com/win. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
Must be present in a state where lawful to wager, must be 21 plus and present in select states. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino LLC. First online real money wager only, $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG in Colorado, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Tennessee, and Virginia. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342 in Arizona, 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut, 1-800-9-WITH-IT in Indiana, 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com in Kansas, 1-877-770-STOP in Louisiana, visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland, visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net in West Virginia, or call 1-800-522-4700 in Wyoming. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelpma.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York.
Get only the best customer service and the best selection of meats at Hoggs Meat Market, where they have sliced boar head deli meats and cheeses. Hoggs Meat Market, the steak people. You're listening to Out of Bounds with John Nabors and Joe Franklin.
Long count by Jefferson. Gives it right side. Green angles right. Got a hole across midfield. AJ at the 40, down the sidelines at the 30. He's got a chance to go. He's going to get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arkansas. 55 yards for A.J. Green. They had a chance to trip him upside the 10 or trip him up just inside the 10. They couldn't do it, and Green is into the end zone for his first touchdown of the season.
On 103.7 The Buzz.
I've had a largemouth bass bust smile and a couple beautiful girls tell me goodbye. Trucks break down, dogs run off, politicians lie, been fired by the boss. It takes one hand to count the things I can count on. No, there ain't much man that ain't ever let me down. Long neck eyes, cold beer, never broke my heart. Like diamond rings and football teams have torn this boy apart. Like a neon dream, it just don't know me. The bars in this guitar. And long neck eyes, cold beer, never broke my heart.
It is a Reaction Monday here on Out of Bounds, folks. And I got to tell you how great it is to have weekends like we just had in the sports world, especially on the football side of things. College football in full swing, NFL in full swing. And I didn't do particularly too well on my picks this past week. But you know what I did do really well at? My betting with Bet Saracen, because we know each and every day there are specials. There is live in-game betting. There are futures. There are so many things to choose from when it comes to all things sports betting. And with Bet Saracen, you need to get on the action and start winning some money. You're going to watch these games anyway, right? You're going to have a rooted interest, right? You're going to watch them or go into the game and just say, hey, I feel like this team's going to win. Well, start making some money on it. Start putting some skin in the game. And right now, if you go into the Bet Saracen app, you can bet money on Arkansas this weekend as they take on Mississippi State. As of right now, they are 6.5-point favorites. And that's moved a little bit because it started out at 6.5, went up to 7.5, and now it's back down to 6.5. So don't let the lines move anymore. If you're feeling good about it, go ahead and download it. And then tonight, of course, you got a great Monday Night Football game between the Cowboys and the Chargers. They have specials on those as well. Like, for instance, Khalil Mack and Micah Parsons, both players to record a sack, plus 200. So if you want to check that out and you're feeling good about those players being out there, you can do it with Bet Saracen. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. So do it today. Download the Bet Saracen app on Apple or on Androids. You can also go online at betsaracen.com and bet on that as well. And just listen, it's the best. There's no other app you need to download when it comes to sports betting. So do it with Bet Saracen and betsaracen.com.
That sounds like a great deal there, though.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Khalil Mack and Micah Parsons getting a sack.
Yeah, I feel like that's an easy money, as they call it. But that's what
the
I
most
like about them.
sure things don't always come through, and that's why it's gambling, it's wagering. But for it to be plus money, it's worth taking a chance on.
For sure. And in fact, again, I did terrible in my picks on the weekend because I only ended up getting 5 of the ones right because we do 13, right? Is that how many?
It
usually?
averages, but this week it was 12.
Okay, so 12. So I got less than 50%. That's a failing grade. So I didn't do well in that. But I will say, though, I was proud of myself because, one, I bet on the Razorbacks plus 19.5, which was great.
Yes, absolutely.
Won out on that one. The other one that I ended up betting on was the over in the USC Notre Dame game. Ended up getting that one. The one that made me mad, though, was not only did I pick Texas A&M to win, but I had Texas A&M at plus 3.5 against Tennessee.
Whoa.
And it was 14-13. Tennessee was up late in the game. So I'm like, okay, even if
Just
Tennessee wins, just stay there. But no, Aggies are going to Aggie, and they not only let Tennessee kick a field goal to make it a 4-point game, but then also had throw an interception late in the game too. So really frustrating.
That's what makes it great, though, with Bet Saracen. So you can get on there and see all the wagering, check it out, and be a part of it.
Oh, yeah. And I was this close, Joe. I was this close to putting money on the Jets, and I bailed at the last minute. Now I'm looking, I was like, well, they got the win at least. So that was pretty nice.
How about the line with the Bills and Giants? That was a big line. And so it just shows with the NFL, like, even though these teams may not have good records, they're all professionals. They're all going to put it out there. And in certain cases, teams are playing with backup quarterbacks like the Giants were, the Browns were. So these guys, they're trying to seize the opportunity when they get on the field.
Well, and I know we'll talk a lot more about it too, but even think about the 49ers who look just absolutely unstoppable against everybody. I know they had some injuries in the game, but
injuries, weather, those were factors in the game.
Yeah, but this goes to show you that those things happen in the games. You just never know. You never know. But no more undefeateds. No more undefeateds in the NFL. So the Dolphins can once again pop their champagne bottles from 1972.
How about that? It all happened in the same week.
Yeah, and I know that's always going to come to an end, but for it to come to an end with both teams in the same weekend and then the fashion they did going up against the Browns and the Jets, I don't think anybody was probably going to be banking on that. But that's, like you said, the NFL, never know what to expect sometimes.
As we mentioned before, too, that there, in most years, there's going to be a winless team left after all the undefeated teams have lost. So that currently stands to form where the Panthers are the only winless team, and there are no undefeated teams.
Because they were winning in the beginning of their game. I felt like they were on top for a little bit.
Yeah, they were
at
up,
least.
I believe, 14-0 on the Dolphins.
Yeah.
So there's another case. Dolphins playing really well this season. Panthers still looking for a win, and they jumped out on them early.
Well, let's keep it going on a Reaction Monday presented by Fleet Management Services and go to the phone lines. Have Brent and Stuttgart lead us off. What's up, Brent?
What's up, John? John, what a game yesterday. Jets and the Eagles. Couldn't happen to a better bunch of guys than the Philadelphia Eagles.
How about all that green on the field?
Yeah, it was almost overload.
That was way too much green. I'm just gonna tell you.
Oh, Brent, love it, man. Favorite color?
Oh, really? You're a green man, Joe.
Yeah, everything green.
Oh, okay. I like it too. Money's green.
There we go. That's where it all starts.
That's where it all. Guys, I don't mean to be critical today of the. Hello, you there?
Yeah, we're here. Yeah, we're here.
I don't mean to be critical of the Razorbacks because they played as hard and as good as they could play. But why didn't we play like in the second half? Like, why didn't we play in the first half like we did in the second half? I mean, we got nothing to lose whether we win or lose, okay? So let's let it all hang out. Let's go, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, we're either going to be 2-5 showing something, or we were going to be 2-5 doing nothing. And at the end of the first half, I thought we were going to be 2-5 doing nothing. Then all of a sudden, we come out and start playing. For us, lights out. You know, I do not understand our offensive philosophy. I do not. I don't think Dan Enos knows our offensive philosophy, and I am at a loss. Is Rocket Sanders, did he go on the trip this week or not?
He did not. He was not on the trip, and he is not going to be playing this weekend against Mississippi State, according to Sam Pittman.
So we can chalk this up. Rocket Sanders' career is probably over at the University of Arkansas.
I mean, I'm not going to say that, but it certainly gives some vibes that we may not see much of him for the rest of the season, at least. Yes.
Okay. So how about we put Satania in and he catches 2 balls and 1 touchdown? Way to go.
Yeah.
Isaiah Satania.
Yeah, he was great. I thought he was great. And even Ty Washington only had the 1 catch, but
that dude could play.
Yeah, that dude's block that he had down the field, I think it was on one of the Dominion runs. He just leveled the dude. So, yeah, he's a player.
We saw it in the bowl game last year.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna let y'all go with this one. You know, when you're 2-5, the turf monster makes a lot of tackles.
Yeah, it's unfortunate
on that
too.
Dominion run, golly, he had it. If he just doesn't, I don't know what happened. You know, he had it.
Well, and the thing is, Brent, I made the joke to some friends on Saturday, but I was like, well, if Arkansas can just get to like the 50-yard line, I think they're in Cam Little range. Like, I mean, obviously, probably not, but still, you just felt like when you're down by a field goal, if you can just get him within a striking distance, a chance, you can at least maybe send it to overtime. But it didn't matter.
I believe he's got a cannon in that leg. I do believe.
Yeah. I mean, this year, I think he's now 4 for 4 on field goals, 50-plus yards. It's pretty significant.
But you know what? As great a year as he's having, you know who will be the all-SEC first-team kicker?
Who's that?
Will Riker from Alabama.
Probably so. But, yeah, it's unfortunate.
I think they ought to give co-kickers this year. I truly do.
No
If they don't give it outright.
No co's. I'm tired of co's. Co's anything. I'd rather not be a co than anything. Just like Landon Jackson getting co-defensive player of the week in the SEC this week. It's like he got co-player of the week to the Texas A&M guy. So it wasn't about winning or losing. It was to the Texas A&M guy. Texas A&M guy had 6 tackles and 1.5 tackles for loss. And he was a co-player. It's like, come on now. What is this?
Thanks for bringing him up. What a great game by Landon Jackson.
Yeah, he was great. Hopefully he can build upon that.
Do you think he comes back next year?
I don't think so. I think he's I can't remember who has COVID years and who doesn't, but I would be surprised if he came back.
He's a junior this year.
Okay, is he a 4-year junior or is he just a 3rd-year junior? Do you know? I guess I can look.
3rd year.
Okay, well maybe he does. I don't know, but if he keeps having games like that towards the end of the season, might start making him some money in the NFL.
That's true. Thank y'all.
I appreciate it, Brent. Thanks for calling in. Let's see. Southern Structural Solutions text line. Got a lot of people texting in on that. Colin Powen says, just ask me for your picks next time, John. I went 7 for 7 yesterday and made a lick on it thanks to Bet Saracen.
Nice.
So congratulations, Cole. Yeah, just send me your picks every day. So that way I can no, because here's the thing. I did good in my betting picks. I just didn't do good on my picks themselves and on the show on Friday. And let's see. From the 501 says, I have always appreciate the players, but I'm done with Enos, and I'm one of those DAs that was excited about the hire. But I have heard that Enos can only call 1/3 of the plays because KJ doesn't get it. Is that true? I have no idea if that's true. I have not heard anything, or you would even know who would have heard something like that.
But, yeah, the speculation on it. That's all.
Yeah, I have no idea. 870 says, so proud of Landon Jackson and the step up on the stage against Alabama. That's pretty awesome. Probably going to help him in his draft stock for sure. And also from a different 870, or this Paul says, it's crazy to have 5 SEC road games. Do any other SEC teams have that many SEC road games per year? Well, you have technically 4, just a neutral site game. But as far as 5 SEC games away from home, yeah, because I think you got the Georgia-Florida one, right? In Jacksonville. Somebody loses a home game.
Right.
So you have that. And I don't know. I guess is that really the only other neutral site SEC matchup that there is? At least coming off the top of my head.
Yeah. Tradition,
yeah. And they enjoy the tradition for the most part. But yeah, there's not many teams that have to deal with it for sure. And speaking of, how about that play by KJ Jefferson, where it looked like he was dead to rights sacked and just does his KJ thing, which you feel like he does once every 6 games. Just looks like he sacked. The guy had him wrapped around, and KJ just rolling around and just kind of throws him off and makes the throw over to Marquise Gums. Just
great play.
Man.
It was almost surprising that they didn't blow the play dead, simply because they did have him wrapped up, and a lot of times refs will come in and say, all right, that play is over.
I feel like that was in the NFL, they for sure would have had that play called dead. But maybe the refs were like, well, it's KJ. Give him a second to cook. But not only was it a great play, but Nick Saban after the game had some high praise for that play, and of course had a great Nick Sabanism too.
You know, when a quarterback can take a major college football player and sling him off like a gnat on a cow's ass, I mean that was one of the most impressive plays I've ever seen a player make.
All right, whoever put that in, I'm going to get after him because they edited it, and that's not what he said. Originally, I wanted to get the screw up in there.
That was what he meant.
Right. Yes.
But yeah, he cleaned it up.
Yeah, because he said originally it was gnat on a fly's ass. Yeah, is what he said originally. So
which would be even more impressive.
Yeah, I'm saying he should have just stuck with that one. It was pretty impressive, but said it was one of the greatest plays he's seen a college football player make. So high praise, but we've seen KJ do that many times when it comes to his abilities to be able to get out of certain plays and whatnot. And let's see, Asher Record Live fan feedback. This comes from Military Mike. He says, we have a heartbeat now. Let's look at what we got. We have a defense, and it's the best one in forever. We have kickers and special teams that are improved. KJ can still motor after all those hits. Jackson was a beast. He simply went crazy on Bama. He won individual reps after rep after rep. Now Bama fans are shaken. They realize Bama's heydays are past, and that tickles me in the tummy. So, okay, Military Mike.
Not yet. They've only lost 1 game. They aren't performing like we're used to Bama performing, but until they lose another game, they're still going to be in the mix.
Because here's my thing, Joe. Who is performing at like the highest level? I think Michigan might be the best team in college football, at least right now from what we've seen. Like they've looked very dominant.
They have Michigan, Florida State, Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
You put Penn State.
Penn State, man. Put it to UMass. Poor Minutemen. Didn't see it coming. Yeah, they were great. Because USC, they lost their game, and that kind of just, felt like it was going to happen at some point where they were going to get caught because of that defense.
Not like that. Yeah. That was unexpected simply because offensively, they didn't do a lot. We're used to them putting up points, and maybe that they would come up short because their defense giving up so many points. But the offense, and it was because of turnovers, and those are always key in a game. 3 interceptions by Caleb Williams. That's his worst performance by far as turning the ball over.
Yeah, only 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions, 199 yards for him. Yeah, that's not gonna get it done. And then the team that I thought was looking really good was Louisville, and maybe they were for real, but then they lose to Pittsburgh by 17 points. So a little getting back down to that, but still some really, really good games. I felt like that game between Washington and Oregon was about as entertaining as you'd ever see. When it comes to that lived up to the hype and expectation, because I was hoping for just a crazy, high-scoring, wild affair, and that's what you got, just a back-and-forth, 2-point conversions randomly getting thrown out there. That was an incredible game, but Washington, the home team, ends up getting the dub. So,
and they do have the best offense in the nation. Washington does.
Oh, yeah. Is Penix?
Yes.
Is he the Heisman Trophy frontrunner right now? Got to be, probably, right?
He is. He probably overtook Caleb Williams this week.
Yeah, he's been. I still think Dylan Gabriel for Oklahoma needs to be, just based on his numbers and the team he's on. I'm sure he's in the mix too.
Bo Nix is in the mix.
Yeah, Bo Nix still, even though they lost, wasn't because of him. I know we're gonna say it for best and worst of the weekend, but man, seeing seeing Oregon go for it on 4th down 3 times and not getting any of them,
that's a credit to Washington.
Yeah, it's just that's the type of thing where even Dan Lanning said after the game that loss is on me. He was taking blame for it, but yeah, Washington coming up big, and they're legit. They're as legit as they come. So still got a lot of great games in front of them, and I know again we'll wait for some of it to get to best worst of the weekend. But man, what happened to Deion Sanders in Colorado? Oh man, that's not something that any team should ever have to do. But blowing a lead like that to Stanford, that's got to hurt for what I know it was already tough for them taking some losses already, but man, to blow a lead like that.
Well, that's one that changes your season, changes the perspective of how people view you, because losing to Oregon, USC, there's no shame in that.
Right.
And you're 5-2 if you do what you're supposed to do. But now dropping that one, you become 4-3. So 5-2 is viewed a lot differently than 4-3.
Yeah, because Stanford, I think, only had one win going into that game too.
Yep.
So, and that game was at home for Colorado. Those are the things that you just can't afford to have happen. But still, a lot of things to talk about when it comes to college football and the NFL, and we'll do that in What's Trending the World of Sports. Mike and Maumelle, hang tight. We'll get to you on the other side of the break. More Out of Bounds on Reaction Monday, presented by Fleet Management Services. Coming up next.
Arkansas Brewskis is excited about their second location, and it's time to add to the team. Brewskis North is hiring servers, bartenders, cooks, and managers. To apply, drop by our downtown location and fill out an application. If you want to work in a fun, professional environment, this is for you. Brewskis North is hiring servers, bartenders, cooks, and managers. Apply in person at Brewskis downtown. For more info, check us out online at brewskispubandgrub.com. Brewskis, your home for lunch, happy hour, and late night.
Stacked Commercial Truck and Trailer has 5 service trucks available, providing you on-site service to get you back on the road. If that doesn't do it, Stacked has a new state-of-the-art 13-bay shop for service and repair on all Class A trucks, trailers, RVs, light and medium-duty commercial vehicles, tires, brakes, AC, engine repair, transmissions, differentials, and driveline repair. Stacked Commercial Truck and Trailer Repair. Get Stacked, 2 miles off 530 exit 34 in Whitehall.
The end of the year is near, and Gwatney is pulling out all the stops to remain Pulaski County's #1 Buick GMC dealer. Big pre-owned inventory and even bigger discounts on new Buicks and GMCs, even with manufacturer price increases. Gwatney Buick GMC next to Sam's in North Little Rock is selling new 2024 models at 2023 prices. You've seen the news. The time to trade is now, before the current auto industry climate skyrockets used prices and all new inventory is depleted. Don't wait. Call Gwatney, 501-945-4444. It's the end of the year blowout. Only at Gwatney Buick GMC in North Little Rock. Interest rates as low as 0.9%. And get new and pre-owned vehicles with no payments for the rest of the year. Stop by Gwatney Buick GMC and register to win a new Hummer. 5700 Landers Road in North Little Rock. 501-945-4444. GwatneyBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade. All offers with approved credit.
At Edwards Food Giant, they know your family is important, and they also know that your time and convenience is as well. So why not take advantage of their heat and eat items in their deli department? Those famous Edwards Food Giant signature dishes with many of the same entrees and recipes that are served daily in the hot bar, all ready to take home and serve to your family tonight. And it can all be found at your favorite Central Arkansas Edwards Food Giant deli. This week's special is Edwards Signature Meatloaf for only $7.49 per pound, with twice-baked potatoes for just $4.99 per pound.
Erectile dysfunction is a very serious medical issue. It affects over 60% of men over 45. This can be caused from low testosterone, high blood pressure, diabetes, prostate issues, and high cholesterol. The staff at the Little Rock Men's Clinic are specialists in treating these issues. Our medical specialists will determine your specific problem and develop a treatment plan for your specific needs. Our treatments have helped thousands of men with a 96% success rate. Call the Little Rock Men's Clinic at 501-382-9516. Now through October 31st, our office visit is only $79. That includes your exam, blood work, and testos. If our specialist can't prove to you that the treatment works, your office visit is absolutely free.
I am 58 years old. I have more energy, and I am performing like I am 21 again. I feel amazing.
Come to the Little Rock Men's Clinic. We treat low T, ED, Peyronie's disease, and offer a male enhancement procedure. Call the Little Rock Men's Clinic at 501-382-9516. That's 501-382-9516. Or visit littlerockmensclinic.com.
It's Justin Anker reminding you that CertaPro Painters is here to help you as we transition from summer into fall. And if you're thinking about doing something to the outside of your home, maybe it's long overdue, CertaPro Painters is here to help. Have them come over, give you an estimate, and they can help walk you through the process of what it'll take to get it done. They can help you out with the color selection and everything else you need to get the job done right. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. For your home, for your business, get your place looking right with the help of my friends at CertaPro Painters.
Check out Hoggs Meat Market's monthly specials and meat packages at hoggsmeatmarket.com. Hoggs Meat Market, the steak people. You're listening to Out of Bounds with John Nabors and Joe Franklin.
How does Sam Pittman celebrate being bowl eligible?
Well, I believe I'm going to have my old cold beer. That's kind of what I like to do, you know.
Do you need any company?
Anybody want to come, but bring some, you know what I mean?
BYOB, baby.
On 103.7 The Buzz.
If you're shopping for a vehicle, you need to get to Gwatney Chevrolet. Gwatney has best deals in the market, been doing it 60 plus years. Give them a call, 501-982-2102. You can trade in a cell phone and get a down payment allowance now at Gwatney Chevrolet. Current cell phone is worth $500. Flip phone, $550. A brick phone, $600. And a bag phone is worth $700 in down payment assistance. And you can also enjoy no payments for the rest of the year. Silverados 2023s, they're 0% with approved credit, and 2.9% is available on 2024 Equinox. Those are some of the deals at Gwatney Chevrolet. Make the trip to the Gregory Street exit in Jacksonville. Shop them online, GwatneyChevrolet.com. Get a deal started on GwatneyChevrolet.com before making a trip to the Gregory Street exit in Jacksonville. And on GwatneyChevrolet.com, you can appraise a vehicle, see just how much it's worth. They're giving thousands over book value, whether you trade that vehicle in or you sell it to Gwatney Chevrolet. Gwatney is always actively buying vehicles, so you'll get a great deal on the vehicle that you trade in or sell. See the entire inventory of new and pre-owned vehicles on GwatneyChevrolet.com. It's Gwatney Chevrolet, Arkansas's #1 Chevy dealer. Gwatney Chevrolet, GwatneyChevrolet.com.
It is a Reaction Monday presented by Fleet Management Services here on Out of Bounds. And before we get to what's trending in the world of sports, let's squeeze Mike and Maumelle in. What's up, Mike?
How you guys doing?
Doing great, man.
A long time no talk. Hey, you guys already answered one of my questions. I had a couple of them. As a football fan, this has been an awesome year of games that are just last minute, last second. Several games have gone down to the last minute, last drive, last possession, and that's just fun to watch, man. Good, better, and different. That's just fun to watch. The one question I had is, now that seemingly Caleb and I think Bo as well, since he lost, have kind of knocked themselves out of the top contender, or who you think it was. And I kind of agree with you, but I find it interesting that now it's kind of an open field. My other question was going to be, who do you guys think at this moment is going to be in the top four? Do you think there's going to be a conference left out of the final round? You have to listen.
Okay. Appreciate it, Mike.
USC will still have a chance, and Washington, if they continue to handle their business. So if you're talking about the Pac-12 possibly being left out, maybe they are able to sneak in, but they have so many good teams that it seems like they're probably going to beat up on one another at this point.
Yeah, I think with just how it's gone so far this year, Oklahoma's in the best spot to secure their spot in the college football playoff just because of the schedule they have left, which is not to say it's easy because, games happen, but they're in a great spot. Georgia, I know that they're going to have some tough games and go through that. But, USC, I'm kind of with you. I think that they will still have a chance to bounce back and recover and get after it.
Oregon only has one loss. So,
yeah.
There's plenty of teams there to go around.
I'm not even going to rule out Texas. I know
absolutely.
I know they lost Oklahoma, but because of the Big 12 title game, and they take the top 2 teams, it could have a chance of redemption if it ends up being Texas and Oklahoma once again.
Big Ten is going to be interesting. It could become a situation where Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan, what if they all beat each other? So they all end up with one loss. Now, which one of those teams actually goes to the championship game? And you would think there's a one-loss team coming from the Big Ten that they will be able to get through. They win the championship game. They'll be in the 4.
I'm rooting for chaos. I am rooting for that chaos, especially when it comes down to it, where I don't know if any team will be undefeated when it's all said and done, or maybe there'll be 4 teams that are undefeated that they just pop in there. Like I don't know. This year's been weird so far for college football.
It's been good though.
Oh yeah, it's been great. I mean, even to something as simple as like, seeing not only some teams that lost this past weekend, but seeing like Oklahoma State beat Kansas, or Missouri beat Kentucky the way that they did. Like there's still some wild things that even not in the top 4 college football playoff picture, but just in general, there's some weird stuff that's happened that has been unexpected.
It shows with Kansas also that they do have a lot of talent there, and their past couple of games, they've been rolling with their backup quarterback, and there's not a lot of drop off there, but they have dropped some games. They're still explosive on offense.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about what's trending in the world of sports.
What's Trending in Sports is brought to you by Arkansas's own West Rock Coffee. Join West Rock Coffee, the Razorbacks, and their 1.5 million farmers around the globe. It's fall, so now it's time for your team to stock up on coffee, tea, and water delivered directly to your business. Contact them at westrockcoffee.com or 833-886-JAVA today.
All right, what's trending in the world of sports? A few things going down. And speaking of college football, pretty significant news for the Georgia Bulldogs, as Brock Bowers, one of the best players in all of college football, phenomenal tight end, he's going to have surgery on his injured left ankle, according to the school, which looks, at least as far as reports go, that he will likely miss the entire season, the rest of the way. So huge news out of Georgia for him and his play and what he's been able to do this season.
He's going to get ready for the NFL if he's not able to come back.
Yep, because according to Mel Kiper Jr.'s big board, he is the number 4 NFL draft prospect. So I feel like he's got good chances of, getting into that first round as a player. But still, unfortunate for him to not be able to be a part of that team. And, I mean, still, they have enough talent to where they can still win a national championship. But he was a lot of fun to watch and one of their best pieces that they had offensively, no doubt.
Definitely.
And then also in some other news, when it comes to the NFL, still waiting on a lot of those injury reports to come out. But we know one of the big ones people are going to be looking at is Deebo Samuel and Christian McCaffrey for the 49ers. And them having to come out of the game. And we know how impactful that especially Christian McCaffrey can be. And, the type of player that he is. But he's suffered a shoulder and oblique rib injuries, as well as they had Deebo Samuel have a shoulder injury, and then Christian McCaffrey's the one that had the oblique and rib injuries, and they were not able to finish the game. But they don't know exactly the extent of how bad it is for them.
How about pregame? Before that, where the Browns are getting after Deebo Samuel and Trent Williams comes through and he's cleaning it all up.
Mm-hmm.
He comes in and starts pushing everybody.
Yeah, because then I saw, what was it, him, Deebo Samuel, and C.J. Gardner.
Johnson,
yes, thank you. That they were having some barbs on Twitter. Or X, just because C.J. Johnson or Gardner Johnson tweeted out some of the extent of the video and saying just like, hey, that's classic wide receiver Deebo running away as soon as Trent shows up or whatever. And then they kind of went back and forth. So having some fun and taking some barbs at it. But yeah, got a little intense
good
there.
Trash talk online.
Yeah, it's all well and good. And it's all part of the good fun. And college basketball, again, we know that SEC Basketball Media Days is going to be going down this week. But the official AP poll has been released, the preseason AP poll, and Kansas is your number 1 team. Not necessarily surprising there, but Arkansas comes in at number 14 in the AP poll, and that is good enough for the second highest ranked SEC team. Tennessee is at number 9, and some other teams of note. You have Duke number 2, Purdue number 3, which again, you have Duke coming into town later in December, and then you have Purdue coming into town next weekend for an exhibition game. Michigan State at 4, Marquette at 5, UConn at 6, Houston at 7, Creighton at 8, Tennessee at 9, and how about FAU once again being at number 10? So a team that made a run, returning a lot of those good players that they had, and Never thought I'd see FAU being a team in basketball that you'd have to wonder about being in the top 10, but there they are. And it makes
they have
it fun.
some bounce.
Yes, they do. They got some really good players there. But we got some more headlines we'll have later in the show, but we got to take a top of the hour update when we come back. We will get into best and worst of the weekend, and we'll talk about some of the things that we thought were highlights and some of the lowlights, and we'll continue to get your phone calls and text messages if you want in on the conversation. It is 501-661-1037. Second hour of Out of Bounds on Reaction Monday, presented by Fleet Management Services. Coming up next.
Listen for birthday trivia in the zone, brought to you by Elia's Mexican Grill. Headed to the hill, take exit 108 from either direction for award-winning Mexican food made fresh every day. Elia's in Morrilton.
Hi, I'm Rick Pennington of Lions Drug. We have great news. Generic Cialis is now available at a huge savings. We have Tadalafil, the FDA-approved generic of Cialis, in a 20-milligram tablet at a savings of up to 80%. We have the 5-milligram daily tablets for less than $3 a pill. Lions Drug continues to be your go-to pharmacy for men's health. What are you waiting for? Call us today at 844-676-2247 or go to our website at lionsdrug.com.
Chosen as one of Arkansas's best places to work 8 years in a row, Rainwater Holt & Sexton is hiring premier paralegals and legal assistants with an emphasis on bilingual Spanish-speaking candidates at all locations. Rainwater Holt & Sexton's mission is to compassionately represent injured and disabled Arkansans. With generous benefits and competitive pay, Rainwater Holt & Sexton is a destination employer hiring the best. We're also seeking bilingual Spanish-speaking attorneys to join our team. Apply today at callrainwater.com.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Don't worry, we don't understand ourselves either. 1037 The Buzz. Buzz News with Channel 7's Cassandra Webb.
Deputies with the Izard County Sheriff's Office are investigating the death of a 1-year-old that happened Sunday afternoon. Officials say deputies were called around 3 o'clock regarding a child being struck by a car. This happened in the 3900 block of Lunenburg Road outside of Melbourne. When they got there, they performed life-saving measures, but the child did pass away. They say no foul play is suspected and the incident is being investigated as an accident. Little Rock's longtime city manager, Bruce T. Moore, passed away over the weekend. He died peacefully at his home in Little Rock. Moore worked for the city for more than 35 years. As city manager, Moore served as the chief administrative officer and principal advisor to the governing body on all operational matters. He also served as the lead city staff person for the development of the William Jefferson Clinton Presidential Center and Park in downtown Little Rock. Moore was 57 years old. For more news and weather, download our free KATV News and Weather apps. From the Channel 7 Newsroom, I'm Cassandra Webb.
Arkansas State fans, listen up. The Red Wolves' home in Central Arkansas is 1067 Buzz 2. Listen every week for Sunbelt Conference action with the Red Wolves, only on 1067 Buzz 2.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with Channel 7's Melinda Mayo.
Sunshine and temperatures that are a little bit warmer to start off the work week. 68 this afternoon. Still a little breezy. Tonight down to the chilly mid-40s. The 70s are back, though, starting tomorrow, and they'll be with us the rest of the week. From the Channel 7 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Melinda Mayo.
Fletcher Dodge wants to buy your car. We'll buy any make or model, and we'll pay you more than anyone else. Please turn your old car into cash at Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood.
Hi, I'm Trey Reed from the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission, inviting you to join me every Wednesday morning for the latest news from the great outdoors. It's brought to you by Arts Marine in North Little Rock, now under new ownership, but with the same familiar faces and incredible service you've known for years, plus the area's best selection of boating parts and supplies.
Football fans, tailgate season is here, which means it's time to score touchdowns and savings for your vehicle. At All About Tire and Brake Tire Pros, we offer incredible deals and service like your daddy used to get, with the financing options that fit your budget. With our team by your side, you'll get MVP service along with the traction and confidence you need to stay on the road. Visit us online today at allabouttireandbrake.com. All About Tire and Brake Tire Pros. Love the drive.
Have you gone all summer long and you've had pain in your knees, your back, your hips, maybe even your shoulder? Well, why don't you try to get rid of that pain? Hey, everybody, it's RJ Hawk. I've been talking about QC Kinetics now for quite some time, and I've got friends, family members across the country that are using QC Kinetics right now, and it is changing their life. And the best part? No drugs, no surgery, no downtime. Think about that for a minute. And people are feeling like they're self again with no pain. QC Kinetics doesn't just mask the pain. These treatments go to the very root of the problem, using concentrated healing properties in your own body to go directly to those joints and restore and repair those damaged tissues. Listen, life is about motion, and QC Kinetics is giving people their lives back with these all-natural treatments. Call QC Kinetics today for a free consultation. 501-222-8440. 501-222-8440. That's 501-222-8440.
I know the last 3 years, people have got accustomed to paying sticker price for a brand new vehicle. Well, it's not that way anymore at Red River Ram. If you're looking for a new Ram truck, we've got heavy-duty four-wheel drive trucks starting at $49,500 or up to $12,000 off sticker price for a Cummins diesel. And we've got $11,000 off Ram 1500 Bighorn four-wheel drive trucks. If you want the best selection and the best buying experience, make that beautiful drive right here to Heber Springs. Now during Ram Power Days.
And ESPN Radio Extra Point with Peter Burns.
Caleb Williams lost the Heisman and lost any opportunity to win the Heisman because it was already swimming straight upstream in the fact to win it twice in a row, right? To win it 2 years in a row, something that hasn't been done since Archie Griffin did it back in the day in the late 70s. And so you knew that voters were going to have to see a Herculean effort from Caleb Williams to even be considered again. Like Heisman voters want something new. They want something fresh. After what you saw from Penix, even what you saw from Bo Nix, what you're seeing from Jaden Daniels, what you're seeing from, even the idea of Marvin Harrison being solid, there's going to be enough other guys that are going to have that success that the Heisman candidacy for Caleb Williams is officially DOA. It's absolutely done.
Discover, this is Danny.
Hi, it's Jen Coolidge. I just want to thank you for making me feel so special. I earned cash back on debit for my dinner party groceries.
That's great. But with Discover Cashback Debit, we give everyone cash back on everyday purchases. Anything else I can help you with?
Are you hungry? Because everyone left after the asparagus sorbet.
Introducing Discover Cashback Debit, a checking account with cash back. It pays to Discover. Eligibility and terms at discover.com/cashback debit. Discover Bank, member FDIC.
At the Home Depot, Saturdays are about two things: getting projects done right with Behr Premium Plus interior paint
and football.
That's right, Kirk Herbstreit. And with Behr's wall-to-wall coverage and long-lasting durable finish, you'll spend less time worrying about your walls,
which means more time for football.
For football. Upgrade your Saturday with Behr and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Live from the Hoggs Meat Market Studios, this is Out of Bounds.
We all got the same mindset that enough is enough. And we're tired of feeling this way. We're tired of losing. That's the main part. We're tired of feeling this way. We want to get back to the win column. We want to be able to come to locker room and celebrate and have fun, get back on in the win column. But it's also been lessons learned being on the road through this stretch that we on, and glad to be back at home.
Yeah.
With John Nabors.
Every time you put a mic in my face, I'm gonna say Arkansas.
And Joe Franklin.
We won't go in the shell. We won't go in attack mode because that's what's required.
On 103.7 The Buzz.
I know that it's good. Won't you sit it on my taste buds? I get way too busy once you let me do the extras. Pull up on your block and break it down. We playing Tetris. AM to the PM, PM to the AM phone. Eat up your per diem. You just gotta hate them phone. If I quit your BM, I still rock Mercedes phone. If I quit this season, I still be the greatest phone. My left stroke just went viral. Right stroke put a baby in a spiral. Soprano C, we like to keep it on the high note. It's levels to it, you and I know. Tell them be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down.
1 hour down, 2 hours to go. Appreciate everybody listening in on this beautiful day here in the great state of Arkansas. John Nabors, Joe Franklin, broadcasting live from the Hoggs Meat Market Studios with you today. And thank you, as always, for making us a part of your afternoon this afternoon. It's been a great Reaction Monday presented by Fleet Management Services. So if you want to continue to react to everything that happened over the sports weekend, you can call or text in at 501-661-1037. Get after us in the Asher Record Live fan feedback after me on Twitter at BuzzJohnNeighbors. And we'll have best and worst of the weekend coming up here in just a little bit. But I did want to read a funny text on our Southern Structural Solutions text line. We're talking about the weather change and the the temperatures of what you get down to your house when you turn the heater on. But the 501 says, I will turn the heater on when there's a freeze warning and not a second before. So I guess he's going all the way to the very end and keeping from the heater coming on and doing
Nothing
it that
wrong
way.
with that.
No, it's just
Save some money.
Braver man than me. I'm over there. Like my thermostat says 65 and I feel like it's freezing. So I guess I need to man up a little bit more than compared to other people too. And then also in the Asher Record Live fan feedback, we got Freddie Five Spins coming back and said, fellas, what is the word? Is it the bird? Was doing the Peter Griffin, the bird is the word after this Bet Saracen weekend, baby. We win, you win, we all win. Think I'm going to flirt with some props like the Evaldi over 4.5 Ks this afternoon. First 5 innings under, and Zach Wheeler, Zach Gallen, both going tonight. Only first 5 under and some Ks props. Gotta get in the lab for that one and cook up something. As always, feed on it, boys. Pour one out. Enjoy the cool, crisp Arkansas fall days. We are here. Peace out.
Yeah, absolutely. Enjoy it.
Yeah, gotta enjoy it. And knowing that some Major League Baseball playoffs are still going on. So the Rangers take care of business in game 1 for them. So I'm expecting, I don't know if it'll happen, but I still somewhat expecting to have some sort of not like a brouhaha, whatever you want to call it, between those two teams. Like something's going to happen because there's a lot of energy in both those teams being, of course, from the state of Texas and some rivalry there. I'm expecting some sort of thing to happen at some point in time in this series.
A couple of teams that know each other well, former teammates, and Justin Verlander, Max Scherzer on opposite sides. And Max Scherzer is somebody who's worked hard to get back on the field. So, yeah, they share a lot of similarities. And that division came down to the last game where the Astros ended up winning the division.
Yeah, that's right. And you have the game 2 happening this afternoon, actually at 3:30 between the Rangers and the Astros, where Texas, of course, is leading that game 1-0 or leading that series 1-0. And then tonight on TBS, you have the startup of the NLCS with the Diamondbacks and the Phillies and that matchup. So that's going to be played in Philadelphia, by the way. But I know that it's been pretty entertaining. And if you're a Philadelphia fan, you got to be saying you're flying high right now, but you're feeling pretty good about not only the Eagles and where they're at. I know they lost, but they got your Phillies right here. I don't really know what the 76ers are dealing with because they got some issues with the whole James Harden situation, but still.
He's going to be there for a bit. We'll see if he'll be there at the beginning of the season, which starts a week from tomorrow as far as the regular season, but he's there for now.
That's right. And who knows, maybe it'll all work out the best for Philly and the 76ers, but they got some good things going on with their sports teams over there. All right. Well, we know that there were some highlights and some lowlights from the weekend overall. So let's talk about the best and worst of the weekend.
It was the best of times.
In your life, have you seen anything like that?
It was the worst of times.
Nuts and bolts, we got screwed. Third down. It's time for the best and worst of the weekend on Out of Bounds.
All right. It is time for best and worst of the weekend. I will go ahead and kick it off with the best of the weekend for me, and I'll stick with the Arkansas flavor. Cam Little, like Landon Jackson was great too, don't get me wrong, but Cam Little has just been great really all season. He's only missed one field goal, and that was against the BYU team, which may have made a difference. I don't know if it would have or not, but still, the guy's been pretty automatic. And not only has he been automatic, but he's been booming it from 50-plus yards. It's one thing to be really accurate when you're 49 plus yards plus and in, which is great. You want to have that. But when you can go out in 50-plus yards and knock them through, especially on the road, some people thought like, oh, well, he did it at AT&T Stadium. That must have been the Dome. Okay, there's a little bit to that. But he's going to Bama and doing it. He's going to Ole Miss and doing it. He's going to LSU and doing it. This guy is just a bona fide weapon, and I just hope that one time this year, and odds are we'll say that it will come in clutch, where he'll have to line up for a clutch field goal. I don't know if it'll be this weekend or at some point in time, but I'd love to see kind of that next thing of he's great right now, but when the game's on the line, can he go out there and knock it through? I have full confidence in him, but he just continues to be and showing why he's one of the best kickers, not only in the SEC, but in the country with some of the things he's doing.
Best to Iowa women's basketball for setting the all-time women's basketball record for attendance. They did that with well over 55,000 in Kinnick Stadium.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. How about that? And then I saw the jokes being made, of course, that Caitlin Clark scored more points there in Kinnick Stadium than the Iowa football team has scored at a home conference game since 2021. So,
of course.
Yeah, people are going to make some jokes about that. But, yeah, really cool moment. And to see for the cause that it went to as well was a really cool thing. Another best, and I'm going to give them a shout out. I know I've been one of those terrible fans that people probably hate, but shout out to the New York Jets and defeating the Philadelphia Eagles and taking care of business. Zach Wilson was not elite by any stretch, but he was good enough as he went out there and didn't throw a touchdown, but didn't throw a pick. Threw for 186 yards, 19 of 33. But the defense was just ball hawking. Jalen Hurts threw 3 interceptions. They did a great job of making some plays when it mattered the most and taking care of business and taking care of the football, which was very important. And to hear the comments there after the game by Robert Saleh and how they're now sitting at 3-3. Talk about embarrassing the quarterbacks that they face so far this year.
Thought defense, per the usual, outstanding. Through these first 6 weeks, we've played a gauntlet of quarterbacks. And I know we haven't gotten all wins, but we've embarrassed all of them. And just really, really proud of the defense and its resolve. Thought Brick and the staff had an excellent game plan. Down 3 corners, 4 of our 6 corners. I thought our D-line was good in terms of keeping that kid in the pocket. He's a handful. Hurts, their O-line, the receivers. Thought our guys battled all the way through.
Strong comments, but if you think about some of the quarterbacks or all the quarterbacks that the Jets have faced, they've already gone through Josh Allen, and they faced Dak Prescott. They faced Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Jalen Hurts, and Mac Jones, too. But even though they haven't gotten the wins, defense says it's embarrassing opposing quarterbacks. I don't know about embarrassing them, but you've definitely had a lot of success against them, and kudos to the Jets defense for doing so.
Best of Florida. They got a hard-fought win over South Carolina, 41-39 on the road, and they make their season look a little bit better as they are 5-2. Now, they didn't start off well with the first game loss to Utah, but 5-2, good so far. And, they have high expectations at Florida. They probably think this team should be 7-0 because they played 7 games. But 5-2 was a good showing so far, and especially with getting a win on the road.
I would love to be 5-2 right now. So, yes, definitely could be a lot different and a lot worse, especially with how they're playing there, too. Another best of the weekend that I wanted to throw in is just, I hate to make it sound cliche, but it is a way of just knowing about the parity right now in football in general, not only just in college football, but the NFL, where maybe more so in college, you don't really know who's good. Like there's been times where certain teams have looked elite. It's still some teams that are undefeated at this point that could end up winning a national championship. I am not saying that it's possible or anything, but the fact is that any given Saturday, you've seen teams that have been really good not perform well. You've seen teams that seem so dominant for so many years not performing well. There's probably a lot of reasons to that, and we could talk about theories, but it's just nice to see to where it's a changing of the guard, especially in college football, but even in the NFL too. There's been some teams that you felt like were just rolling and going to be dominant, and sometimes they slip up, sometimes they lose, and to see the amount of close games that they were from this past weekend and some of the uncertainty ones and some of the great finishes, it's just been an overall really solid football season in general for entertaining games and for some upsets or at least some surprises. So hopefully that continues on because I feel like that makes for the best type of football.
Best to SNL making their return for the season. Pete Davidson hosted. Ice Spice was the musical guest, but they did a skit with NFL on Fox with Travis Kelce, made an appearance at the end, and then they did one at the news desk on Coach Prime, which was really funny, where he kept saying, "Look at me, look at me."
Yep, and I love that so much, and just to hear him and Keenan Thompson do the impression of him was pretty great.
Prime time in the house, you know what I'm saying? We just keep winning, man. Every game, every minute, we winning at life.
Yeah. Well, you're also 4-3, so so you have lost a few.
Kyle, Look at me, man. What about me makes you think that I care about what you think about me? Huh? You don't understand that my team has it all, man. Coaching, genius. Offense, explosive. Defense, triumph. It's a complete package, man.
I love the cadence that he goes along with it because it's just spot on for Deion and just the way that he did it. So I was fully expecting something to be with Deion Sanders and everything for SNL and returning. But, yeah, Keenan Thompson did a really good job of it, too. Worst of the weekend. I could go a lot of different directions in this particular one, but I'm going to stick with the college football landscape and, some of the games that may have not gone according to plan. But to me, from this past weekend, as dominant as some of these teams looked, there were some teams I was very disappointed in, mainly because I bet on them. But either way, seeing a team like, for instance, Louisville, who I felt like they were in a great position in the ACC, where you got Florida State in front of you, who's the best team in the ACC right now, but could really take some steps forward. They lose to a 1-4 Pittsburgh team. I know it was on the road, but losing by 17 points is a pretty rough go for them. I feel like what happened with Washington State, I'm still a believer that they're doing a great job, but for them to get trounced at home 44-6 by Arizona was really rough. And I know it's SEC, you can never count anything out, but how about LSU putting it to Auburn? I know Auburn has had some good things defensively going on, but 48-18, they just got smoked from beginning to end and just didn't look really good doing it. So some teams that I was really expecting, or at least hoping for, to have a better performance, didn't see it out of the college football teams, especially the ones that couldn't even keep it close, and in some cases even at home. Shouldn't just ever happen that way.
Worst of Pac-12 teams, Colorado blew 29-0 lead, and they were outscored 46-14 in the second half. You had USC that lost to Notre Dame. They got blown out there 48-20. And then Washington State losing to Arizona 44-6. And USC and Washington State, both ranked teams. And USC was a highly ranked team. Washington State has played really good this year, especially at home. And then they get blown out by Arizona.
I know the game management we've talked about, and this is going to be another worst of the weekend for me. But last night in the Bills and Giants game, ended up coming down to the wire. I mean, the Giants had a chance to win the game. Balls on the goal line. There were two things that really I got from this as far as the worst of the weekend. Actually, three things. Yeah, now that I think about it, three things. One, the game management by the Giants at the end of the game. I don't know if it's to blame Tyrod Taylor because he was in the game instead of Josh Allen, or if it was the play calling, or if it was Brian Daboll, whoever it was. But when you're on the goal line in a close matchup and there's 14 seconds to go in the game and you run the ball on the goal line, you get stopped, you have no timeouts left, and you can't get up the line, you don't get any points, that's unacceptable.
That was at the end of the first half. That
Right.
one was. And then at the end of the game,
Right.
so if they kick a field goal at halftime, then at the end of the game, all they need is a field goal to win.
And it changes the entire landscape of everything. But game management, once again, becomes a problem. And then on top of that, I thought that just one penalty, but I thought the roughing the passer was trash that they called. I felt like I don't know what else is supposed to happen or what you're supposed to do there. But then at the end of the game, talking about the officiating, you had, I don't want to call it a bailout, but you had a pass interference call that gave the ball to the Giants right there on the goal line and with no time left.
Which it was.
I felt like it was still pass interference or holding or anything on the last play. It didn't get called. And so I'm like, how do you call it then, but you don't call it in the next play that was just as bad, if not even more so egregious? So that's the stuff that kind of makes it a little bit inconsistent. I know that, you can talk about officiating in each and every game and every play and, really dissect it. But that to me was pretty bad at the end of the game. If you're a Giants fan, you put yourself in that position, but to not even have a chance of the ball because of you got interfered with right there was just bad to not to get called.
We talk so much about how the game, football, is skewed towards the offense, especially on the NFL level. Now, that's something that the defensive players have at their advantage. They know at the end of the game, they can be a little more physical, and maybe it's called, maybe not, because that was a situation where they would have had to call back-to-back pass interference calls, and they did the first time. The second time, they didn't. So the defensive players, they do have that at their disposal at the end of the game. They know that certain situations, they may be able to get away where it's not called because refs don't want to be an influence on the outcome of the game, but should have been called. Another worse, Jada Pinkett.
Yeah.
She's still talking, and this is one of those things where it's like, okay, she has a book coming out. She's out there, it's a tell-all, but at this point, why? What's the purpose of it? You keep making Will Smith look worse every time you speak, every time something more comes out. It just makes him look worse along the way. So that's why it ties into a worse where now it comes out that they haven't been together in so many years. There have always been rumors about their marriage and certain things going on. Why is now the time to release that and let everybody know this is something that could have been known 5 years ago, could have been known 3 years ago, well before the slap even happened. And since then, Will Smith has been put in a bad light, and you continue to make that worse by talking.
Yeah, I just don't understand. Like, people can do whatever they want, say whatever they want, but like making everybody in the public eye be so much a part of some private business and continuing to make it like, it's your business, but you're letting it all come out and all hang out and approaching it in the way that you are. And, if it's something to where maybe even if you cared about Will Smith, which I would assume that there's at least some sort of care or compassion there, there's just some stuff you don't need to go through and not need to tell everybody about. Like, I don't understand why it's going to this great lengths to do this and to act this way. It's just weird. It's a very weird thing, but
there have been rumors for so long, and everybody's drawing their own speculation of exactly what's going on. Let that continue to happen. Let people continue to think what they want to think. Don't put it out there for everybody to really know what's going on. There's no reason for it.
Yeah, I just don't understand the reasoning or the concept behind it. But again, it's her business, I guess. She wants to air it out and let everybody know about it. But still, it's a shame that's even what it's come to. And another worst of the weekend, I want to just throw it out there once again. I hate the fact that there's co-players of the week and co-defensive lineman of the week or whatever, because none of it actually makes sense. And also wanted to throw in another worst of the weekend to where it seems like that some of the easy calls can be made in certain situations in football to where I feel like if I know it, it should be able to be done. And I think sometimes people try to overcomplicate it. But I also feel like sometimes fans can just be like, hey, why aren't you just running the ball more? Or, hey, why aren't you just passing the ball more? It's like, I think there's a lot more that goes into that than just simply like, just do this and it'll start working. There's a lot of complexities to football, and sometimes you just got to chalk it up to the other team being really good or making plays. I get that if you're a fan of a specific team, you start saying, man, this is terrible, this is crap or whatever. But it's like, for instance, the Arkansas-Alabama game. Yeah, you wanted to win. Yeah, you were in a position to win. Yeah, you didn't play great at times. But still, it's Alabama. Like, you got to give them a little bit of credit for being able to win the game and hold their own, too. It wasn't like you just lost it because you screwed around and had a big lead and let it go to waste. It wasn't anything like that. It was definitely something to where it deserved a lot of praise and a lot of credit for that. So just wanted to throw that as another worst of the weekend.
Logan Paul and his business partner, KSI, they were on a boxing card over the weekend where Logan Paul beats Dylan Dennis. There's chaos at the end of the fight, and then KSI loses to Tommy Fury. But it was entertaining, and that's what they're there for, to entertain.
Explain to me the security jumping in and stopping the fight and everything. Like, is that protocol? Like, what is that when all just jumped in and stopped the fight?
It was one of those things where Dylan Dennis, he was being dirty at that point.
Right.
He, had Logan Paul in a headlock, and he was doing all kinds of dirty things. So Logan Paul's bodyguards, that's what they're there for, to protect him. So they're going to go by all means to protect him.
I didn't realize just how big of a security team he had until I saw it was insane. Just they flooded in that thing like somebody just popped open a cork and started pouring it into a glass. I mean, they stopped it pretty quickly. But yeah, I saw the highlights of that. I was just like, man, to get to that point and to have that many people involved must have been something that they saw that was like, hey, all right, this is like we're taking it to this level.
There was something similar that happened with Floyd Mayweather and John Gotti III. And we have to remember these are exhibition fights. They're not pro-sanctioned fights. So they get out of hand at the end. People are going to step in, and you're going to have the teams going at it.
Yeah, well, I thought it was pretty entertaining just from that perspective of like just anytime a security team has to come in and stop the fight, it's a pretty entertaining thing to say the least. But that's best and worst of the weekend. We're going to continue on with a Reaction Monday presented by Fleet Management Services. Call or text in at 501-661-1037. Got a lot more Out of Bounds coming up next.
Join Fitz Hill, the Doctor of Football, each Thursday night at 7 for the West Rock Coffee Recruiting Intelligence Report. The Doctor of Football will keep you up to date with the latest recruiting analysis. Brought to you in part by Ortho Rehab, Express Airport Parking, Diamond Medical, Blue Train, and Authentic Manhood. Only on your fun and game station, 103.7 The Buzz.
This is Sports Center.
Arkansas fell to Alabama 24-21 in Tuscaloosa over the weekend. After the game, Coach Sam Pittman talked about the losing streak and the goals for the rest of the season.
Surely there's going to be some team that's not ranked in the top 15 in the country that's going to play us, at some point at our place. We just got to continue to fight and all those things. We got a hard road to get bowl eligible, but that is our goal. We've got to start it Saturday.
The Razorbacks will get to play an actual home game in Fayetteville this upcoming weekend for the first time since September 16th. They'll host Mississippi State for an 11 o'clock kickoff. And tonight on Monday Night Football, the Chargers will host the Cowboys at 7:15. Radio coverage can be heard on the Buzz Join in Progress at 8. I'm Christian Weaver with the Buzz Radio Network.
This is Pat Bradley for Brewskis, and the biggest Halloween party is right around the corner. Saturday, October 28th, break out the costume, get ready to throw down. Brewskis is going to be the place to party with karaoke in the bar and Dude Called Rob spinning all your favorite jams down in the basement till 2 a.m. VIP sections and bottle service, email brewskispubandgrub.com. Halloween, Saturday night, October the 28th. Come celebrate at Brewskis. Again, brewskispubandgrub.com. It's Brewskis, you home for lunch, happy hour, and late night.
Hi, I'm Rick Pennington of Lions Drug. We have great news. Generic Cialis is now available at a huge savings. We have Tadalafil, the FDA-approved generic of Cialis, in a 20-milligram tablet at a savings of up to 80%. We have the 5-milligram daily tablets for less than $3 a pill. Lions Drug continues to be your go-to pharmacy for men's health. What are you waiting for? Call us today at 844-676-2247 or go to our website at lionsdrug.com.
Backed by popular demand, Gwatney Chevrolet in Jacksonville is letting you phone in your down payment this month. Instead of trading your old phone for a new phone, trade your old phone towards a car at Gwatney Chevrolet in Jacksonville. This month at Gwatney, your old phone qualifies as a down payment allowance. Phone stores just want to trade for the newest model. Trade your phone for a new ride, and we'll give you even more value for your older phone. A current phone equals a $500 down payment allowance. Flip phone, $550 down payment allowance. Brick phone, $600 down payment allowance. But bring in Grandpa's old bag phone, that's a $700 down payment allowance towards your new ride. Plus, no payments until after New Year's. Everyone has an old phone, and everyone gets approved. 1301 TP White Drive in Jacksonville. 501-982-2102. WatneyChevrolet.com. Chevrolet. Find new roads.
Saturday, October 28th, make your way down to the Pine Bluff Regional Park for the Sissy's Log Cabin Smoke on the Water Championship, presented by Saracen Casino, one of the world's largest barbecue championships. This year's event is highlighted by the onstage tribute to Jimmy Buffett from Bluffett and his Son of a Sailor Band, a show that can't be missed with costumes, props, and conga lights, all the looks and sounds of Margaritaville. Music, barbecue, food trucks, vendors, and games for the kids. It can't be missed. For more information, visit smokeonthewaterbbq.com. This ad paid for with a combination of state funds and Arkansas's Land of Legends Tourism Association funds.
This year, we considered hiring an ad agency to help with our marketing.
They pitched impressive visuals and a script that was inspiring.
And exotic animal mascots to help grab your attention.
In the end, we just decided to tell it to you straight. Shelter Insurance has award-winning customer service at affordable rates.
Plus, our local agents are there to help you understand what coverage you need.
See Shelter Agent Monica Reiners in North Little Rock, Larissa Callie in Bryant, or Chris Allen in Stuttgart.
Same great deals, all new location for Hoggs Meat Market in North Little Rock at 3901 JFK Boulevard. Call them today at 501-758-7700 for all their specials at Hoggs Meat Market. The Steak People. You're listening to Out of Bounds with John Nabors and Joe Franklin.
Complete, lots of room. Jaden Wilson's got a chance to go.
inside the 40, inside the 30, to the 20, to the 10. Touchdown, Arkansas! Touchdown, Arkansas! Isaac Tesla threw the home run block. Jaden Wilson scores the touchdown, and they're excited at War Memorial Stadium.
On 103.7 The Buzz.
It's a great time to get to Twin Peaks for happy hour, 2 to 7. Later, happy hour, 10 to close. Enjoy all the food and drink specials that go along with it. Get a lunch combo starting as low as $7.99. If you want to take some food to go, you can order online, curbside, or to go, courtesy of Postmates, DoorDash, and Uber Eats. Stop by Twin Peaks on Friday. Say hi to Out of Bounds. We're going to be there between 1 and 4, and we will be giving away some gift cards that you can use at Twin Peaks at times. And Twin Peaks has plenty of seating inside and out, wall-to-wall TVs to see all the sports action. NL and AL championship series going on. You want to get by Twin Peaks to watch those. For Major League Baseball, it's setting up for the World Series. These are the last 4 teams left. There's college football always, NFL. There's a Monday night game tonight. Cowboys taking on the Chargers. Make Twin Peaks your NHL headquarters. And coming up Saturday is UFC 294. It's Makhachev taking on Volkanovski. Makhachev is the champ at lightweight, and this is a rematch. Volkanovski actually stepped in to take this fight last minute. And then there's a middleweight fight between Usman and Chimaev. So there's going to be plenty of UFC action, the combat sports, boxing, MMA. Place to be to watch it all go down is Twin Peaks. It's Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
It is a Reaction Monday presented by Fleet Management Services. And I actually saw on social media that on this day in 2006, this iconic moment happened.
4 picks against Grossman and 2 fumbles. What do you see about the Bears that would shut them down that way?
No, we just the Bears are what we thought they were. What we thought they were. We played them in preseason. Who the hell takes a third game in the preseason like it's bull? We played them in the third game. Everybody played 3 quarters. The Bears are who we thought they were. That's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
Thanks, Coach. Yeah, thanks, Coach. Appreciate you coming by. It's amazing. 2006. So what is it, 17 years ago?
One of the all-time rants, Coach Denny Green.
So many good ones. And correct me if I'm wrong, I hate to even ask this, but he has he passed away? Yes. Okay. Thank you. I thought he did, and I didn't want to say anything, but yeah, definitely one of the all-time great rants. And as bad as it is, like, I don't really know even what he did as the Cardinals coach. I just know him from that famous rant that he went on. Like that's what I know him for more than anything, is him hitting the podium and it like jumping up in the air and just going off about the Bears and talking about what. And that's another thing cracks me up to tell you about the time frame is when Rex Grossman was brought up for the Chicago Bears and during that time. Man, great quotes. Always love those things.
Yeah, there have been some classic ones. Mike Singletary, who is a former Chicago Bear. Jim
Mora? You mean Jim Mora?
Jim Mora. He had the one about playoffs. So, yeah, there have been some classic NFL rants.
Yeah. I was trying to think of Singletary was the one when he was with San Francisco, right? He was the head coach
going
there?
off on Vern Davis.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Can't win with them. Can't coach with them. Can't play with them. Can't do it. I want winners. Like, yeah, always rooted for Mike Singletary. But, yeah, some great ones. We need to get back to that in the NFL. I feel like we've been really not having as many great ones as we once did.
Belichick, he has some, but, they're more low tone. And, of course, this season, they're really asking. There are plenty of questions, and he's just kind of like, he's low energy whenever they win games. He gives a little bit more, but he's low energy. He's really low energy now.
Yeah. There's nothing to be energized about what the Patriots are doing and the struggles that they're having, especially offensively. But I don't know. I felt like in the mid 2000s, we always got some really good rants or some good clips and whatnot from all coaches, because that was around the time I think it was Mike Gundy's, I'm a man, I'm 40. That became very iconic. So we just need to get back to that. We need to start having some of those good ones come back and be remembered forever.
How about Josh McDaniels also undefeated against Bill Belichick?
That's wild. How many games has it been?
3.
Oh, 3, but still 3-0. How many other coaches are 3-0 against Bill Belichick or started 3-0 against Bill Belichick? Probably not too many. But yeah, that's definitely
They
great.
know
for
each
them.
other well.
Absolutely. Let's see. Southern Structural Solutions text line. This comes from the 501. Says, guys, I want your honest opinion. Do you keep or give Dan Enos the boot? And after this season, depending on the next season set of games, will KJ stay or declare for the NFL draft?
Those are interesting questions that we'll know a lot more with these last 5 games of the season and how they kind of play out.
Yeah. If I'm going off of what I feel now, which of course is subject to change, I want to make sure that's clear. But as I'm feeling now, I believe assuming the offense is what it is and it's not going to change and it's going to kind of be the same thing. I don't think it's necessarily giving Dan Enos the boot. I think it's maybe just doing an entire overhaul of the offense in general, which kind of like what they did with defense this past year. They got completely new staff besides Deke Adams. I could see maybe something like that happening with the offense, just going a completely different direction to have an overhaul. And the thing with KJ, I have literally no idea because he's been in college now for 5 years. I believe this is his 5th year technically playing college football. He's been the starter for 3, and he still can technically come back. But, a lot of those players sometimes they just go like, hey, I'm done with school. I'm done with playing college football, done with having to go to class, done with all this stuff. Even if I, don't get a first round pick in the draft, I'm still going to go to the combine, take my chances, and try to find some sort of way that way too. Like he could do that, or he could come back for the other year. I don't really know what his mindset is.
Yeah, it is that time for him though. We came into the season expecting that for him to move on, but because of how the season has gone, it could change some things. But with KJ, still expect that he's probably going to move on.
I would think so. Like that would be where I'm leaning towards. And it's not because I want him gone. It's just when you get to that age in football and knowing your shelf life, and you've been a starter for as long as you have. Like I don't know what else you need to prove. You came back this year. Like I think it would be not a bad sign, but just a weird sign if he came back. It'd almost be weird for me if he came back another year.
Just he'd come back and smash all the records because he's already going to have plenty of them.
Yeah. And probably untouchable records, like ones that is not having a 4-year starter in college football, major college football. That's unheard of. Like that's like Matt Jones territory. Like he was a 4-star starter, and it's probably why was the record holder up until KJ Jefferson came in.
Absolutely.
And so that's a big reason why. Also from the Asher Record Live fan feedback, Stats Guy says, 3 undefeated teams went down over the weekend, and it looks like there was going to be some separation in the Heisman race after USC's Caleb Williams threw 3 picks. Washington Huskies quarterback Michael Penix, the junior, is clear Heisman leader after a signature win over Oregon with 4 touchdowns and 300 yards. Huskies are first in total offense, first in passing offense, and third in scoring offense. Who are your other 2 Heisman candidates at number 2 and number 3?
Bo Nix,
is Bo Nix. I believe so.
And you can't forget about Caleb Williams.
Yeah,
he's still there.
Just one bad game. I mean, I'm not going to hold that against him. I still think Dylan Gabriel for Oklahoma is in consideration because he has had a good year and they're undefeated,
right?
And had some big wins.
They're always going to look at team wins.
That's a big part of it. And I know they've lost 2 games, which isn't. I shouldn't feel like it should hold against them. But I still was always been really impressed by Sam Hartman up in Notre Dame. I thought that he's just been outstanding this season. So, yeah, there's a few of them there being thrown into the mix, but man, so you're talking about how crazy is that? Not in a bad way. The 3 players like you just mentioned, Joe, for your 3 Heisman Trophy candidates, all in the Pac-12.
Oh yeah,
like that's what's wild.
They deserve a lot of credit.
They do
for the way they've been playing this year.
They do. I'm not trying to hate on them or anything. They do deserve it, but I just laugh about that because I'm like, man. You think about a conference that for a long time felt like it just wasn't competitive there, except you had Oregon, and then, USC had some bad years. UCLA was nothing. And now look at it to where arguably the 3 best quarterbacks in the college football and maybe even the finalists right now are there. In fact, from the 501 on the Southern Structural Solutions text line says, don't count out Quinn Ewers from Texas either. He's had a really good year.
He really has.
And then 501 also, a different 501 says also Drake May. That's another one to take into consideration.
Drake May at UNC. He's expected to go high in the NFL draft.
Yeah. Caleb Williams still going to be number 1 overall, right? Like, can we?
Well, it's kind of going back and forth. Even coming into this season and where it is now, Drake May, Caleb Williams. and who should be 1, who should be 2. And we know that once they go to the combine, it could continue to go back and forth.
Yeah, and again, it also depends on who has that number 1 overall pick too, and what they're looking at and who they're looking for.
Shedeur Sanders still putting up incredible numbers, and he's going to have a decision to make as far as does he want to come back or does he want to make his way to the NFL?
Yeah, and I think it was Stephen A. Smith was talking about it this morning, and I didn't even realize it until I saw an article about it that people were very critical because I guess Shedeur had posted during halftime selling merchandise on his Instagram, and people were like, man, and then it led to the loss.
Doing that for him.
Like that, and that's what I kind of felt like. I was like, I know it's a bad look. It's like perception, but I'm like, I sincerely doubt that Shedeur Sanders at halftime, at least I would hope not, was there sitting in the halftime locker room be like, oh man, no, I don't need to worry about what I'm looking at out there. Let me get on Instagram real quick and promote my merchandise.
That kind of goes along with that SNL skit where Kenan Thompson says, yeah, as he's playing Coach Prime, I was surprised that we lost too because we were up 29-0. I went home and fell asleep at halftime.
Yeah, and then he started listing off all the teams that were, I guess, like undefeated. Had a better record than him, and he's like, all right. And then just each one just kept reeling it off.
They beat us too.
Yeah.
Talking about USC.
Yeah, that was great.
Okay, all right, that's enough. Stop.
Yeah, that was again great. That was a great skit. Hopefully, that's a reoccurring character.
Coach Prime as the musical guest years ago.
I did. Yep, I saw that one too.
Who's better than Coach Prime as a musical guest? And he said, "Well, Prince, Sinead O'Connor, so and so." He's naming all these people, and he goes, "Okay, well, after them, and about 300 more, who's before Coach Prime? Nobody."
Man, I love that. I'm hoping. I think it will be because it was a success. Hopefully, it's a reoccurring character.
Oh, it will be.
Yeah, and just continuing to get with the ridiculousness of it.
There's a guy named Lou Young. If you're not familiar with him, go online and check him out. He does a Coach Prime impression, and it's really good.
He's very impressionable. Like he's a guy that, because of his personality and the way he talks, it's definitely a great impersonation, or a personable guy to do. So we're going to have more on the Reaction Monday presented by Fleet Management Services coming up next on Out of Bounds. So stay with us.
The end of the year is near, and Gwatney is pulling out all the stops to remain Pulaski County's #1 Buick GMC dealer. Big pre-owned inventory and even bigger discounts on new Buicks and GMCs, even with manufacturer price increases. Gwatney Buick GMC next to Sam's in North Little Rock is selling new 2024 models at 2023 prices. You've seen the news. The time to trade is now, before the current auto industry climate skyrockets used prices and all new inventory is depleted. Don't wait. Call Gwatney 501-945-4444. It's the end of the year blowout. Only at Gwatney Buick GMC in North Little Rock. Interest rates as low as 0.9%. And get new and pre-owned vehicles with no payments for the rest of the year. Stop by Gwatney Buick GMC and register to win a new Hummer. 5700 Landers Road in North Little Rock. 501-945-4444. GwatneyBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade. All offers with approved credit.
Hi, neighbor. It's Garen with Shamrock Roofing. Have you been denied a new roof by your insurance company after storm damage? You won't be denied at Shamrock Roofing. Give us a call or visit us at shamrockroofer.com. Right now, we're offering a free impact-resistant roof upgrade. Plus, if you've been denied coverage by your insurance company after the storms, you automatically qualify to win a new roof for free. Just visit shamrockroofer.com for details. Shamrock Roofing, where one call does it all at shamrockroofer.com.
Erectile dysfunction is a very serious medical issue. It affects over 60% of men over 45. This can be caused from low testosterone, high blood pressure, diabetes, prostate issues, and high cholesterol. The staff at the Little Rock Men's Clinic are specialists in treating these issues. Our medical specialists will determine your specific problem and develop a treatment plan for your specific needs. Our treatments have helped thousands of men with a 96% success rate. Call the Little Rock Men's Clinic at 501-382-9516. Now through October 31st, our office visit is only $79. That includes your exam, blood work, and testos. If our specialist can't prove to you that the treatment works, your office visit is absolutely free.
I am 58 years old. I have more energy, and I am performing like I am 21 again. I feel amazing.
Come to the Little Rock Men's Clinic. We treat low T, ED, Peyronie's disease, and offer a male enhancement procedure. Call the Little Rock Men's Clinic at 501-382-9516. That's 501-382-9516. Or visit littlerockmensclinic.com.
When it
it comes to tailgating this football season, Edwards Food Giant is your MVP when it comes to a hassle-free tailgate party. Pulled pork smoked to perfection, along with an ultimate lineup of sides and essentials that'll make your taste buds cheer and your tailgate setup a breeze. The Edwards team also features even more delicious meats like chicken, brisket, ribs, and smoked sausage, all straight from their own smokehouse. It can all be found by clicking edwardsfoodgiant.com or by visiting your local Edwards Food Giant store. Edwards Food Giant is your MVP. edwardsfoodgiant.com.
RJ Hawk here with Chris Roberts from Southern Bank. And Chris, I know interest rates are high right now. That's what everybody's talking about. But if you're thinking about a project, whether it be a commercial project or you want to build a house, now's the time to come talk to you about what those future plans may look like.
You know, RJ, no matter what the business environment may be, we're always there to sit down with our customers and talk about their future plans and what's going on with their businesses.
And that's one thing about Southern Bank is they're a community bank. They want to be your partner.
Partnering with our customers is a key to how we do business.
And Chris, you know, we talk about those interest rates being high, but the one good news out of that is deposit rates.
We have some great CD and checking account rates. Just give us a call and see what one of our personal bankers can do for you.
If you want more information about interest rates or those deposit rates that we just talked about, call Chris and his team today at 501-424-0900 or go online at bankwithsouthern.com. Southern Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Fire up the grill this summer with the highest quality of meats from Hoggs Meat Market and their new location off JFK Boulevard in North Little Rock. Hoggs Meat Market, the steak people. You're listening to Out of Bounds with John Nabors and Joe Franklin.
Y'all better put him in the Heisman. You better put him up there. I'm tired of him being number 3, number 4.
We got that wood right here, baby.
Somebody better look at this guy. He's the best football player in the country, and his name's not being mentioned. Lou Holtz, Mark May. Number 5, you better look at him a little closer. He's a football player.
On 103.7 The Buzz.
Wherever you are, whoever you are, wherever you are, whoever you are, wherever you are, whoever you are. Hey, hey, I told you, riding with my top down, with my jury on. Hey, I'm just getting my hood on. I'm just doing my thing. I'm just doing my thing. Hey, 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 hey. I said I'm riding with my top down, with my jury on. Hey, I'm just getting my hood on. I'm in the hood bouncing, spray like a fountain, money like a mountain. Tell me why you pouting. I know why you pouting, cause we getting paper. Hey, tell them again, nigga. We getting that paper. I'm in the hood top down, put my jury on, jury on me. I got my goons on me, I get them off me. I shake the haters off me, get them off me. I shake them off me. Bitches, is you with me? My bitches, is you with me? If you got a problem, a sucker, come and get me. Get me. Y'all know my name. You see the candy paint, it spell my name. Swizzy, riding with my top down, with my jury on. Hey, I'm just getting my hood on. I'm just doing my thing. I'm just doing my thing. Hey, yep, hey, yep, hey, yep, hey. I said I'm riding with my top down and my jury on. Hey, I'm just talking to you. It's like bump, 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 bump. You know the block is bumping. Fingers on the corner, man. You know the block is bumping. Speakers in your trunks thumping. They playing my song. People is jumping. Now we got a little block party, y'all. It ain't nothing but Henny and Bacardi, y'all. Sitting on the stoop, on the milk crate. How you living life? What to say great? Great, y'all came from nothing into something. Why these people hating? Why these people fronting? We just riding with our tops down. Things happen quick, somebody got shot now. Riding with my top down, with my jury on. Hey, I'm just getting my hood on. I'm just doing my thing. Don't worry about me, dog. Doing my thing. Hey, yep, hey, yep, hey. I'm just doing it. I'm just saying I'm riding with my top down, with my jury on. Hey, I'm just getting.
It is a Reaction Monday presented by Fleet Management Services here on Out of Bounds, folks. And we've been talking about the weather a little bit, too, and just how amazing it is outside. Feeling like fall already. You know, the type of weather that's pretty warmer. I don't say warm, but like warmer during the day. And then at night, it gets pretty cold. And discussing whether to turn your heater on and all that. Well, you all know what that means, right? That means that duck season is just around the corner. And as always, Max Prairie Wings is going to have you covered no matter what it is when it comes to your hunting needs. Because right now you can receive a $2,000 Max gift card with the purchase of a Thor boat, motor, and trailer package. Or maybe you need a new gun. How about the Beretta A300 12 gauges just being $77.99? and Weatherby 18i 3.5-inch 12-gauge Super Mags starting at $749.99. And also, they still have the great deals going on with getting the ultimate vantage point when it comes to hunting, like having the Muddy Skybox 20-foot double rail ladder stand that's sturdy and spacious right now on sale for $189.99. Or maybe you want to have the quality and the affordability. Max has the Big Game Warrior 17-foot ladder stand now just $125. So no matter what it is, especially with duck season being here, folks, it happens in November. We're in the middle of October. So get after it and get over to Max Prairie Wings today, or you can shop them online at maxpw.com. That's MACKSPW.com. Max Prairie Wings. The hunt begins here. Going to have your Raise Your Hog update presented by True Service also here in a little bit too. And I started wondering because a buddy of mine who was listening to the show, Joe, texted in. And when we were talking in our best and worst of the weekend and looking at the SNL, the musical art, the
Ice Spice.
Who is that? Should I know who that is? Like, I'm honestly asking because, like, when I first heard it, I kind of just like glared over because I'm like, okay, well, maybe that. But then I was like, wait a minute, who's I? Because every time I think of Spice, I think of like the Spice Girls. I was like, was this like a Spice Girl that maybe I didn't realize and it's been revitalized? But who is Ice Spice?
Ice Spice is all over the place. She's a rapper and she's, mainstream. She's hit it big. She's in a Dunkin' Donuts commercial with Ben Affleck.
Okay.
And her fans, they call them Munchkins. And, they have the donuts they call the donut holes Munchkins. So
yeah.
She was able to get a deal with that and advertise for Dunkin' Donuts because of it.
So where did the Munchkins thing come from? Like for calling the fans?
It's kind of like they call Beyonce's Beehive Swifties for Taylor Swift, and hers are Munchkins.
Okay. Well, I'm going to have to maybe, I guess, listen to a song so I can know.
She has a unique sound and a unique look. She has orange hair.
Okay. How have I never seen this bird? Maybe I have, and I just didn't think about that's who it was. Because I didn't watch the entire SNL.
She was all over the VMAs because she was sitting next to Taylor Swift. Her and Taylor Swift have a song together. So she was sitting next to her. So we know if you saw Taylor Swift from the VMAs, she was sitting right next to her.
Do you think that they showed Taylor Swift at the VMAs ever?
Maybe a time or two. So you may have gotten a glimpse of Ice Spice then.
That's the best way. Like, if you ever want to promote yourself, just find a way to be next to Taylor Swift. And everyone's going to know who you are. And everyone's going to, like, dive into your entire background. Like, it's never going to happen, but like I feel like if I was ever next to Taylor Swift at any sort of event and people saw me, I would hope that people would be like, oh man, well, who is this? All right, he does a radio show. Okay, we're going to listen to his radio show every day. Like, that just feels like it's that type of power where you just stand next to her. You'll probably get figured out and people will know who you are.
The Barbie song also from the movie, it's Nicki Minaj and Ice Spice.
Okay. So now, all right. I have heard that song. So now I'm starting to put it together because, just wanted to make sure that I wasn't going crazy there. And again, Ice Spice is then just thinking of the Spice Girls because I don't know I couldn't even name all the Spice Girls, but that's who I just thought it was in some direction there. But either way, not important. Let's go ahead and get this guy in. Navy Mike's on. What's up, Navy?
He knows who Ice Spice is.
Yeah, I bet you he does. Big Ice Spice guy, aren't you, Navy?
Oh yeah, she's she's easy on the eyes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but guys, as far as KJ, Danny has absolutely destroyed his draft stock single-handedly this year. But Joe, you mentioned something before, but that can change. Like when you get to the combine, you can become a sensation overnight with a good showing. I mean, we all saw what Anthony Richardson did, in this past one. And you even think back to Matt Jones. He ran that 4.37, which was insane, and shot himself into the first round. Now, I'm not saying KJ can make him turn himself into a first-round quarterback, but he can definitely get himself into like those middle rounds because people are always going to take a chance on a quarterback, especially if you can get him for cheap. I would take KJ right now on the Panthers right now.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Mike, you know who changed a lot of that too? Brock Purdy and the success he's having.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the most inexact science in sports is evaluating quarterbacks. I mean you don't really know until you get them on the field, and unfortunately if you pay a lot for them and you draft them high and they don't pan out, then that's what's happening with my Panthers right now. I mean they got 11 losses away from being setting a record in history, NFL history.
Yeah,
that's probably going to happen.
Navy, did I see that Frank Reich seceded his play calling and gave it to the forgot which guy it was? Did I see that? Is that what happened? gave up play calling?
He's gonna, I guess, be a little more hands off. But you can't fix that. You know, I mean, it don't matter who calls the plays. If the guy's getting murdered on every snap, it doesn't matter. I mean, we got the same problem Arkansas got. Our offensive line is Swiss cheese too, man. So, I mean, it's a rough year, but I hope, always next year, right?
They're going to get one of those division teams.
Guys
They'll get one.
Yeah, they're not going to go 0-16 or 17.
Right.
I guess they would be the first team to go 0-17. Because the Lions are still the only team to go 0-16, right? I believe.
They may be the only team.
I think so. But yeah.
Don't 0-17, that puts you in a different category.
A whole nother
Because there have been some
stratosphere.
0-14 teams before also.
Right.
Before they went to 16 games.
That's right. We got to take a break. When we come back, we got the third hour of Out of Bounds coming up. Continue to hear your reactions, 501-661-1037. Stay with us for the third hour.
Football fans, tailgate season is here, which means it's time to score touchdowns and savings for your vehicle. At All About Tire and Brake Tire Pros, we offer incredible deals and service like your daddy used to get, with the financing options that fit your budget. With our team by your side, you'll get MVP service along with the traction and confidence you need to stay on the road. Visit us online today at allabouttireandbrake.com. All About Tire and Brake Tire Pros. Love the drive.
If you are looking for a safe and loving home for you or your loved one, visit Heartland Rehabilitation and Care Center. Just 15 minutes from Little Rock and Benton, our skilled nursing staff is dedicated to providing quality long-term care and short-term therapy. Visit heartlandrehabcenter.com. You can call Heartland home.
Justin Anker reminding you that if you want the job done right, then don't stress. Just go with the best. CertaPro Painters is your go-to painting company. You can get your free estimate scheduled at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. People who are going to be responsible and people who are going to be accountable to you and your family to make sure your project gets done right. So if you've been thinking about sprucing up your home or business for the fall season that is almost upon us, you need to get CertaPro on the case. Use the company that I've used many times over the years. It is CertaPro Painters. You'll be happy you did.
Sports talk and entertainment.
I can't understand the food in your mouth.
That'll put a smile on your face.
I'm being serious. I can't understand a word you're saying.
KABZ, Little Rock. Buzz News with Channel 7's Cassandra Webb.
The woman found dead inside a vehicle Friday night in North Little Rock has been identified as a Pulaski County Sheriff's deputy. The Pulaski County Sheriff's Office identified the victim as one of their own, 26-year-old Ursula Graham of Jacksonville. The Sheriff's Office says Graham was a member of their detention staff. She was found dead inside her car at the Hemlock Court Apartments. The Sheriff's Office says they're heartbroken about this tragic loss. If you have any information about this incident, contact North Little Rock Police Department. And North Little Rock police are investigating a shooting Sunday night near the intersection of McCain and JFK. Police say it happened around 6:30 on North Walnut Road. They found a man with at least one gunshot wound suffering from life-threatening injuries. So far, no word on suspects or what led up to that shooting. If you have any information, please call the North Little Rock Police. For more news and weather, download our free KATV News and Weather apps. From the Channel 7 Newsroom, I'm Cassandra Webb.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with Channel 7's Melinda Mayo.
Sunshine and temperatures that are a little bit warmer to start off the work week. 68 this afternoon. Still a little breezy. Tonight down to the chilly mid-40s. The 70s are back, though, starting tomorrow, and they'll be with us the rest of the week. From the Channel 7 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Melinda Mayo.
Fletcher Dodge wants to buy your car. We'll buy any make or model, and we'll pay you more than anyone else. Please turn your old car into cash at Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood.
Edgar Award-winning author and Arkansas native E.Y. Craner joins the zone every Tuesday courtesy of Jackalope Cycling. Jackalope Cycling in Russellville is there with bike rentals and service, camping gear, fishing accessories, whatever gets you excited about the outdoors. E.Y. Craner Tuesday in the Zone, brought to you by Jackalope Cycling. Check them out online at jackalopecycling.com.
Unless you've been living under a rock, you've heard of the current turmoil in the auto industry. Rising used car prices and declining new car inventory is clearly a real possibility. But this month, Watney Chevrolet strikes back with 0% on 2023 Silverados. Call 501-982-2102. Watney Chevrolet in Jacksonville anticipated today's car climate months ago by ordering extra new inventory and assembling a fleet of quality used cars. Call 501-982-2102. Trade now, because prices could soon be headed in the wrong direction. Plus, get the relief of no payments until after New Year's. Watney Chevrolet will get you right before the storm on the horizon. Watney Chevrolet, 1301 TP White Drive in Jacksonville. Call 501-982-2102. WatneyChevrolet.com. Chevrolet. Find new roads. All offers with approved credit.
This is David Dunn with Central Arkansas Truck and Trailer. Do you own or operate Max, Volvos, Freightliners, Kenworths, Peterbilts, or international trucks? We can offer you the same dealership level computer diagnostics with highly trained and professional mechanics without dealership wait times and cost. Whether you're a municipality, fleet, or small business with one truck, come see why our customers have made us the highest rated independent repair shop in Arkansas. Central Arkansas Truck and Trailer. Take exit 7 on I-440 or call 568-2185.
Have you gone all summer long and you've had pain in your knees, your back, your hips, maybe even your shoulder? Well, why don't you try to get rid of that pain? Hey, everybody, it's RJ Hawk. I've been talking about QC Kinetics now for quite some time, and I've got friends, family members across the country that are using QC Kinetics right now, and it is changing their life. And the best part? No drugs, no surgery, no downtime. Think about that for a minute. And people are feeling like they're self again with no pain. QC Kinetics doesn't just mask the pain. These treatments go to the very root of the problem, using concentrated healing properties in your own body to go directly to those joints and restore and repair those damaged tissues. Listen, life is about motion, and QC Kinetics is giving people their lives back with these all-natural treatments. Call QC Kinetics today for a free consultation. 501-222-8440. 501-222-8440. That's 501-222-8440.
When you get on a bike, you got to watch out for gravel, potholes, and knucklehead drivers.
But after a crash, here's what you got to watch out for. Insurance adjusters. They can be tough on injured bikers.
They might try to pin the blame on you or pay you less than you deserve.
So if you've been injured, here's what you should do.
Call the lawyers who look out for bikers. That's Rainwater, Holt, and Sexton. Motorcycle crash? Call Rainwater, Holt, and Sexton. Anywhere in the state, dial 888-8888. Non-lawyer spokesperson. Responsible attorneys Michael Rainwater and Bob Sexton.
Are you ready to make a difference for the environment while helping the visually impaired at the same time? Then donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind today by calling 1-800-983-6530. Every donated vehicle will either be properly recycled in an eco-friendly manner or given a new life through reuse. Donating your vehicle is easy. Simply call 1-800-983-6530 and Heritage for the Blind will do the rest. They'll even arrange for your vehicle to be picked up at no cost to you. And for a limited time, when you donate your car, you'll receive a $200 restaurant voucher and a 2-night, 3-day hotel stay at one of 50 locations. Call 1-800-983-6530 right now to schedule your vehicle donation and make a positive impact on the environment while helping others. Heritage for the Blind, where every car donation counts and every person makes a difference. Call 1-800-983-6530 now. This advertisement is paid for by Heritage for the Blind.
Live from the Hoggs Meat Market Studios, this is Out of Bounds.
We all got the same mindset that enough is enough. We're tired of feeling this way. We're tired of losing. That's the main part. We're tired of feeling this way. We want to get back to the win column. We want to be able to come to life and celebrate and have fun, get back on in the win column. But it's also been lessons learned being on the road through this stretch that we on, and glad to be back at home.
Yeah. With John Nabors.
Every time you put a mic in my face, I'm going to say Arkansas.
And Joe Franklin.
We won't go into shell. We won't go into attack mode because that's what's required.
On 103.7 The Buzz.
I know that it's good. Would you sit it on my taste buds? I get way too bendy once you let me do the extras. Pull up on your block and break it down. We playing Tetris. AM to the PM, PM to the AM phone. Eat up your per diem. You just gotta hate them phone. If I quit your BM, I still rock Mercedes phone. Spiral. Right stroke, put a baby in a spiral. Soprano C, we like to keep it on the high note. It's levels to it, you and I know. Tell them be humble.
2 hours down, 1 hour to go. Appreciate everybody listening in on this beautiful day here in the great state of Arkansas. John Nabors, Joe Franklin, broadcasting live from the Hoggs Meat Market Studios with you today. And thank you, as always, for making us a part of your afternoon this afternoon. It's been a great reaction Monday presented by Fleet Management Services. And we want to continue to get your reactions from everything that happened over the sports weekend. You can call or text in at 501-661-1037. Get after us in the Asher Record Live fan feedback. After me on Twitter at Buzz John Neighbors. We'll also have your Razor Hog update. Get to hear from Sam Pittman and some of the players and what they had to say after the Arkansas-Alabama game, which, as you heard there in the intro, KJ Jefferson's just talking about how they're tired of losing, tired of feeling this way, and they got to do something to change it. But they got Mississippi State coming to town on homecoming this upcoming Saturday in Fayetteville, and it'll be interesting to see what the crowd looks like and how people show up. But I think there'll be a good amount of people that end up going to the Razorback game, just because it's been over 30 days since you've had a game in the state of Arkansas. So I think the fans will be up there, and
they'll be anxious for a win.
Yeah, just to hopefully see it. I hadn't seen many of them, just 2 at this point. But yeah, I think the fans will be there, and I think that they'll be excited just to see some football. And looking at the weather too, because I know we talked a lot about the weather today and just the changing of everything. But I think that's always playing a factor into it, where this weekend, this Saturday, it's a high of 73 and sunny with a low of 49. So good weather right then and there. And I think there's some sort of hunting season that starts up on Saturday or this weekend. Could be wrong about that. I don't know anything about hunting, I'm going to be honest. But I think it's either a modern gun or something like that. I don't know. Somebody will know out there. But that's always a factor when you talk about these home games in Arkansas and these people going out there and hunting instead. But yeah, it'll be a good crowd nonetheless. Let's see. We'll have some few things to talk about as far as headlines, but on our Southern Structural Solutions text line, did have a few people. Taylor Cabot says muzzle loading. Thank you, Taylor. Yeah, appreciate that. This comes from Fan Chicken Farmer. It says, well, if the Razorback football program wins 3 of 5, which should be viable 5 and 7 in the 4th season of its termination, and raise that salary to $7 million, Enos was a bad hire to begin with. Thank you. Coming from a fan. So I guess is he talking about the 4th season's termination and raise that salary to $7 million? I don't know. Sam Pittman's not making $7 million at this point in time.
He's making 6.
6. Yeah. So no raises or extensions for anyone this year. That probably won't happen, but there'll still be something.
There is something in the contract where he is supposed to get some kind of accelerator.
Yeah.
But I mean, maybe that took him from 5 to 6 mil, but there's something in the contract.
Yeah, because there's the same thing where it comes to like buyouts too, where if they decide to move on from Sam Pittman because of if his lack of success, the buyout is significantly decreased if it's coming off of a losing season. So yeah, there's a lot of factors that go into that. And also from JK in Fairfield Bay, it says, John and Joe, did you hear Jackie Sherrill telling Baz after a bull incident question if Baz would like to see this sharp knife he carries around?
No, didn't hear it.
I didn't hear that either. Did not hear that either. It was pretty entertaining to hear from Jackie Sherrill. It's amazing. He's almost 80 years old, about to turn 80 years old. So guy's had a lot of success in the college football landscape for sure. And then from the 501 says, I know how Arkansas can win some games. Every play on offense, everyone that goes out for a pass after 10 or 15 yards puts their hands out like they're about to catch the ball. This should trigger a lot of defensive holding penalties and eventually cause more separation due to fear of penalties. But you got to do it every play from now until picks fly. I don't know if that's what they're going to practice this week, but I guess I appreciate the creativity and the innovation if that's going to be the case. And then also to a different 501 says, on the broadcast, the announcers made the statement that KJ has 1 more year of eligibility after this year. Is that true? Do you think he would transfer if Arkansas doesn't go to a bowl game?
Oh, now that is an interesting question that somebody threw out there, saying that because he does have another year left, and we know how vital the transfer portal is, if he did decide to come back for another year, is that a decision is that something that he's even thinking about?
I would be devastated if he decided to go that route, just because of how long he's been in Arkansas and how long he's been in the program. But that is an option that we see a lot of quarterbacks do. We've seen it's like Sam Hartman, I guess, was kind of one of those guys that was at one school for a long time and, transfers to Notre Dame.
Russell Wilson,
yeah, he might have been the quintessential one at NC State and then going to Wisconsin and really making an impact that way. Caleb Williams wasn't a last year player, but, making the transfer where he was the guy at one school and making another change because of the coaching change and going to USC, it's worked out for him. So it's not completely out of the realm of possibility.
Caleb Williams did it early, though. He did it after his freshman season.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, it's not uncommon to see even bona fide starting quarterbacks change schools for coaching changes or for whatnot. But that would certainly be I think Razorback fans are like, hey, KJ, if you're going to go, just go pro, because that would be very, especially if he like went in the conference, which there's going to be a lot of places that are going to come after him, and I'm not trying to accuse anybody of doing any of that behind the scenes. When he's still on the team and trying to cause some problems there, but
Ole Miss,
there people would be talking, saying Ole Miss,
Mississippi State.
Yep.
It's home for him. He's back. Would be back in the home state. So those are. It's way too early to even think about something like that. But those would be at the top of the list as far as schools that would go after him.
Even Alabama. Just like a place like that. I'm not saying like for sure the Crimson Tide would come after him, but there'd even be really good schools with a lot of talent that would like to have him as part of his services too. And then, Mike and Cersei also says Bo Nix is another great example of someone who transferred.
Yes, absolutely.
Working out for him tremendously. So it's not always just going downhill. It's a lot of times it goes really well.
And Bo Nix is actually there for his second season with Oregon.
That's right. Because he had Auburn for 3 years. I felt like it was there forever. And then he goes on, and
he's a guy that started as a freshman.
Yeah, he's had a lot of experience there. And then Chase from the Bowen Law School says, "You sure about it working out for Caleb Williams? USC downfalls upon us." Yeah, because he won the Heisman. It worked out well for him. Like, yeah, you want to win a championship, but he's still there's one loss. They could still come back and they could still get into the playoff. But yeah, it's absolutely worked out for Caleb Williams at USC.
And he went there with Lincoln Riley. He had a great receiver last year in Jordan Addison, who's doing great in the NFL. So yeah, it has worked out.
Yeah, so I can't deny the fact that it would be great for him to can go to USC, because I have no problem with it the way it's worked out and how perfectly it's gone about it too.
As Coach Prime has said, and we know, but he says that players go play for coaches, not schools, and that's a case that you can point to directly to say Caleb Williams went to Oklahoma with Lincoln Riley. He goes to USC with Lincoln Riley.
Oh yeah, it's as evident now as it's ever been when it comes to college football. You think about Coach Prom, like you just brought up, and this is nothing against Colorado, but none of those kids are up there, if not the vast majority of them, if it's not Deion Sanders as the head coach.
Oh, they're all there for him.
Yeah, it's just that's just a fact of the matter.
Complete flip of the roster.
Yeah, I don't even know if most of those kids even considered Colorado at any point in time in their high school career, but then you get a coach there that brings some excitement and some things, and they want to try it out. They want to go up there. And you see, at any time a new coach comes in, there's always a new energy that comes into a program, but there's some players that may not consider one coach. But here's a great example of it. If you want more of an Arkansas type of thing, from my understanding, at least, that Hunter Henry, great tight end at Arkansas, doing really well in the NFL, playing for the Patriots whenever Mac Jones can get him the ball. But he was someone who, when Petrino was the coach, didn't really like it, wasn't really thinking that as strongly. But then when Brad Bielema comes in, he commits. So I'm not saying that he would have not for sure gone with Petrino, but there was that whole deal of he didn't really want to play with that guy. But when a different coach comes in, suddenly it's a consideration. So sometimes it just happens to where it's not just about a particular coach. Sometimes it's just about a new coach, a different coach.
A fit. It's about having the right fit. We've seen that USC has benefited from that because of Lincoln Riley. And there's an example of Jerry Rice's son, Brendan Rice, who transferred from Colorado to USC.
See, I didn't even realize that he did that. Is he playing? And is he significant?
Yeah,
okay.
He's playing. He was playing at Colorado before, and now he's playing a significant role at USC. When they matched up against each other, that was one of the storylines that came out of that game, that he was there before, and now he's at USC, and it's Jerry Rice's son.
See, I didn't even put two and two together, but that does make a lot of sense. Not many players transferred out of Colorado to go somewhere else, like a place like USC. A lot of times it was just, what was it? Coach Prime said, I'm bringing Gucci. and
He definitely did that.
Some of y'all are gonna have to hit the portal there. Yeah, but still, there's a lot of this stuff with the transfer portal. I was talking to somebody about it yesterday with the just that and the NIL. It's so different now. Actually, it's Rick Steele here that I was talking to about on our sister station. It's amazing how it's changed the game so much in college football to where, the ability to just go to different schools at different times and enter into the portal and come out on top on the other side, or it's allowed a lot more freedom of movement. And I think maybe even Jackie Sherrill said it today. We was talking about free agency. It's kind of what it feels like, but again, if you're a school like wherever that has a new coach in place, instead of having to be like, well, we got a new coach, guess we're gonna have to wait 3 or 4 years before they can really get any of their team together. It's like, no, because of the portal, you can go from being a bottom dweller in a conference to suddenly being highly competitive, all in just one simple year. I even throw in the fact with like Arkansas's defense, which I'm not saying that it's like an elite defense, but just think about how much a year made in a difference just because you added other players out of the portal and got a new coach. Like it's light years better. And so you just sometimes have to do that in college sports and college football, and it works out for the player, works out for everybody.
It's just the way that college sports have changed altogether. And football, you got to put in a lot more work to flip a roster just because of the numbers and how many players are actually there. But it's something that you have to deal with and kind of balance whether you want to recruit so many high school players or you want to bring so many in through the portal.
Yeah, I think portal has been something that I would almost rather go into. It's almost like I used to care about high school recruiting. I don't as much anymore. Like it still matters. I'm like, oh, okay, that's good. But what about the portal though? Like, what about those guys that have proven themselves already at the college level? What are we doing with them? How are we looking at it that way? Like that's the type of player that I would be looking for. Not to say high school recruiting is not important, but because of the immediate impact a transfer can have, it changes a lot of the game itself. And also on our Asher Record Life fan feedback, uh, we had a Slop Hog say the offense is atrocious this year. And honestly, it was when he was around here round 1. So give Danny Enos the boot. That comes from Slop Hog. I guess he's feeling that. And then Corey D also says, Rex Ryan, let's go get a bleeping snack rant is the best NFL coach rant. That was a pretty good one. Although that was, it still counts, but that was on the HBO Hard Knocks when you're doing it in front of the media, like at a press conference, that's always a little bit more fun for me. But the go get a snack was pretty fun. But Rex Ryan knew he's on camera. He knew where that camera was at all the time. He liked being seen.
He still has a lot of fun these days on ESPN doing some of the same things. They turn to him whenever they want some kind of comedy, some comic relief.
Yeah, he was always very funny. Some people got fed up with his attitude at times, but he was always very funny. And then Rome says multiple times, Jaden Daniels is still a Heisman Trophy candidate with LSU, which, yeah, that's true. I mean, they've lost two games now at this point, but the numbers that he's putting up is just ungodly. Like he's definitely a great player at the quarterback position. So yeah, he's in the mix. He's in the mix. And then Mark says, is it really even a debate whether Enos should be fired? Won't be going to any games while he's here. Okay. He's already mailed it in, says as long as Dan Enos is on campus, he's not even attending any of those games on campus. All right. Well, everybody's got their opinion. I'm sure that at the end of the year, we'll have some things that get changed up. There's going to be some maneuvers. That's just what happens in trends in college football in general, but also for Arkansas too.
That's crazy to think about. Usually it's about the head coach. Now, in this instance, he's talking about a coordinator, an assistant coach that's keeping him from going to games.
Yeah, which I would, I'm trying to remember a time when that's ever happened. Like last year, we had people criticizing Kendall Briles for sure, or Barry Odom. But as far as if they're not back or if they're gone, then I'll be fine with it. But if they're back, I'm going to be upset about it. Hasn't really happened that many times with coordinators. It's mainly been with the head coach or the head coach. People saying that the head coach needs to bring in a new coordinator. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. It's like, I think people just see the staunch difference and feel like the offense should be a lot better than what it is. And they know how much control that Dan Enos has over the offense. So they feel like, hey, he's at fault. It definitely Sam Pittman has plenty of guilt to go around for the lack of success, but he's ultimately the one that's changed the offense, and it's not been very good. Let's go to Doug in North Little Rock. What's up, Doug?
Hey, guys. Just call in, give you a little pep talk. I mean, last week I told you we're that close to beating Alabama, that close to play here or there right at the end. it would have been Arkansas's way.
That's right. It was close. It was close, but just no cigar. In fact,
God.
I will say, though, Doug, real quick, that the past 3 years for Arkansas and Sam Pittman, again, doesn't matter, but they've been going into the fourth quarter in each of those matchups. They've been in a one-possession game against Alabama, and 2 of those being on the road. So I think what Nick Saban said after the game says a lot, where he's like, hey, telling the team, this team we're going up against Arkansas and Sam Pittman, they're going to be a physical team, and that's going to be a different kind of fight.
Oh, yeah, but everybody was counting them off. Everybody, I went to a party, everybody was counting them out. And I was telling them we're going to be right there at the end, and we were. And this week, Mississippi State, we got to right off Alabama, put that behind us. We got the easier part of our schedule coming up here, and we need to take advantage of it right now to get in the bowl. So the first one is going to be ringing that bell. They're not going to be ringing it. We're going to be ringing at the end. Okay?
All right. Appreciate it, Doug. Thanks for the pep talk. See a little optimism into today with Arkansas being at 2-5. It's been a long time since they've been that bad. So speaking of, how about we go ahead and hear from some of the coaches and players and get to your Razor Hog update presented by True Service.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
Arkansas wins the national championship! The Arkansas Razorbacks have completed the dream season! Hogs by 90!
This is your Razor Hog Update on Out of Bounds, presented by True Service Community Federal Credit Union, where they offer new mortgage loans, refinancing, auto loans, and small business loans. Online at trueservice.net.
All right, so for your Razor Hog updates, let's go ahead and hear from Sam Pittman and how his team continues to fight.
I think they're just like you and me and everybody else. We're disappointed that we lost. I think that's first and foremost, because I want to make that very clear that we're not happy by getting beat by Alabama. You aren't, I'm not, you're not, nobody is. Our players aren't. But you have to continue to fight and continue to get better. And if we'll do that, surely there's going to be some team that is not ranked in the top 15 in the country that's going to play us, at some point at our place. And we just got to continue to fight and all those things. We got a hard road to get bowl eligible, but that is our goal, and we've got to start it Saturday.
He also feels like that not all losses are created the same, but all losses at least are some teaching moments.
I think the good Lord puts us in a lot of situations, I do, and to learn and different things. And going into this stretch, starting with BYU, I wouldn't have dreamt, nor nobody else, that we'd be sitting here 2-5. Didn't want to be, didn't, all those type things. But they're all learning experiences from it, and hopefully we'll be a better team when we get back home and get out of it. I'm glad we still got to go to Florida, but 4 of the 5 are at home. And, I just hope that we learn from it as coaches. I hope it's made us stronger. I hope it's made us a better team. That's yet to be determined until we get out there and play Mississippi State. But I think there's a lot of things to learn from it, how you address your team, how the team responds to you. There's a lot of things because, 5 in a row is a lot in a row, and so your main concern is how do you motivate the team and how do you get them better, and are you going to lose them and things of that nature. And I think we all can agree we haven't done that, but we've got to figure out a way to win.
And finally, one of the things that Sam Pittman, I think everybody will agree with him on as well, is dealing with Isaiah Satania. Did catch a touchdown pass. Haven't seen much of him in the offense, but they definitely need to get him the ball a lot more.
It was good to see him. That's a tough catch for the touchdown on the slant. Really good ball. But yeah, we need everybody we can get to come in and make plays for us, and I was really happy for him. He's done a nice job with the kickoffs and the punt returns and all those things, but we need to continue to use him at slot, and they're really happy for him. He got a couple balls and a touchdown today.
And finally, Landon Jackson also had a great performance over the weekend and KJ Jefferson even felt like the team fed off of that energy.
Yeah, I mean, he did a tremendous job. I mean, I was just asking back then how many sacks he had because, I mean, he was just flying around, getting out blocks, running tackles, rallying around the ball. So good overall effort by him, and just showed the grit and tenacity that he plays with. And it's contagious as well. Other guys feed off his energy and him making plays, and they all just being a bond and rallying to the ball.
Arkansas will be facing off against Mississippi State this Saturday at 11 a.m. there in Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium. And that's your Razor Hog update presented by True Service. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more Reaction Monday, more of your phone calls and text messages here on Out of Bounds. So stay with us.
UCA Bear fans, you can hear every game live on our sister station, The Point 94.1. Go Purple, go Gray, go UCA on The Point 94.1.
This is Sports Center.
Arkansas fell to Alabama 24-21 in Tuscaloosa over the weekend. After the game, Coach Sam Pittman talked about the losing streak and the goals for the rest of the season.
Surely there's going to be some team that's not ranked in the top 15 in the country that's going to play us, at some point at our place. We just got to continue to fight and all those things. We got a hard road to get bowl eligible, but that is our goal. We've got to start it Saturday.
The Razorbacks will get to play an actual home game in Fayetteville this upcoming weekend for the first time since September 16th. They'll host Mississippi State for an 11 o'clock kickoff. And tonight on Monday Night Football, the Chargers will host the Cowboys at 7:15. Radio coverage can be heard on the Buzz Join in Progress at 8. I'm Christian Weaver with the Buzz Radio Network.
Listen for NFL Hall of Fame referee Walt Coleman Wednesdays during Morning Mayhem, presented by Sigma Supply Packaging Products. Schedule a free waste audit analysis with Sigma Supply's sales manager, David Breitenberg, and see if automation is a solution to your production line issues. Online at sigmasupply.com. If you're not using Sigma Supply, you got low-grade product, man.
Back by popular demand, Gwatney Chevrolet in Jacksonville is letting you phone in your down payment this month. Instead of trading your old phone for a new phone, trade your old phone towards a car at Gwatney Chevrolet in Jacksonville. This month at Gwatney, your old phone qualifies as a down payment allowance. Phone stores just want to trade for the newest model. Trade your phone for a new ride, and we'll give you even more value for your older phone. A current phone equals a $500 down payment allowance. Flip phone, $550 down payment allowance. Brick phone, $600 down payment allowance. But bring in Grandpa's old bag phone, that's a $700 down payment allowance towards your new ride. Plus, no payments until after New Year's. Everyone has an old phone, and everyone gets approved. 1301 TP White Drive in Jacksonville. 501-982-2102. WatneyChevrolet.com. Chevrolet. Find new roads.
Jackalope Cycling is passionate about the Arkansas outdoors. To help you enjoy this beautiful state, Jackalope offers an array of bike rentals to get you on the trails.
What about fly fishing from a bicycle?
You can't do that, but Jackalope also offers fly rods, reels, waders, fly fishing accessories, outdoor and camping gear.
Yeah, it'll be tough riding a bicycle in waders.
But you can still enjoy the Arkansas outdoors with Jackalope Cycling in Russellville or jackalopecycling.com.
Justin Anker reminding you that CertaPro Painters is here to help you as we transition from summer into fall. And if you're thinking about doing something to the outside of your home, maybe it's long overdue, CertaPro Painters is here to help. Have them come over, give you an estimate, and they can help walk you through the process of what it'll take to get it done. They can help you out with the color selection and everything else you need to get the job done right. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. For your home, for your business, get your place looking right with the help of my friends at CertaPro Painters.
Stacked Commercial Truck and Trailer has 5 service trucks available, providing you on-site service to get you back on the road. If that doesn't do it, Stacked has a new state-of-the-art 13-bay shop for service and repair on all Class A trucks, trailers, RVs, light and medium-duty commercial vehicles, tires, brakes, AC, engine repair, transmissions, differentials, and driveline repair. Stacked Commercial Truck and Trailer Repair. Get Stacked. 2 miles off 530 exit 34 in Whitehall.
Of course, you have many options when it comes to great dining options downtown, but there's only one, Dizzy's Gypsy Bistro, still offering a wide selection of all your favorite special craft cocktails, including beer and wine, and a menu featuring gourmet salads and delicious pastas. And Dizzy's is also the multiple-time winner of the World Cheese Dip Competition. With a dog-friendly patio, a funky eclectic atmosphere, and room for large parties with reservations, Dizzy's will have you coming back again and again. Since 1995, Dizzy's Gypsy Bistro, Dizzy'sLR.com.
Mike Golick here from Westwood One. Monday Night Football coming up from Los Angeles, where the Chargers host the Cowboys. At 3-2, Dallas needs a bounce-back win in the worst way after last week's loss to the 49ers, while the 2-2 Chargers are well-rested after their bye week. Join Kevin Harlan and me for all the action on air and on the free live stream sponsored by AutoZone on Monday Night Football.
Right here on 1037 The Buzz.
It's game day at Jim's house, and the spread is impressive.
Mike's already done some damage with the hot wings, and now he's dropping back and going deep for another slice of pizza.
I sure hope he brought the Pepto.
Mike knows that Pepto-Bismol provides fast 5-symptom relief from unexpected stomach upsets. He's no rookie.
The way he's throwing back those nachos, he's the GOAT.
Be ready for game day with Pepto-Bismol. When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Make your tailgate the party of the parking lot by getting the best meats in all of Arkansas at Hoggs Meat Market, the steak people. You're listening to Out of Bounds with John Nabors and Joe Franklin.
I got to ask, because I've always wondered, why did that happen in Fayetteville, Arkansas? What took you there? It's just so weird. It's
visiting friends,
Okay.
but yeah, Dixon Street.
Dixon Street?
Yeah, Dixon Street was, it'll get you.
On 103.7 The Buzz.
Give me a man after midnight. Won't somebody help me chase the shadows away? Give me a man after midnight. Take me.
It's Out of Bounds here, folks, and I got to tell you about Gwatney Chevrolet and the great deal that they have going on right now. Is since it's truck season, right? So you need you a truck, right? You want to get into the hunting spirit with the right truck, right? Well, of course you do. And Gwatney Chevrolet is going to help you out with that because they have brought back their popular Trade a Phone for a Car program for the month of October with even bigger values. And this month at Gwatney Chevrolet, your old phone is worth valuable down payment allowance, like your current phone, no matter what it is, whatever the ones you're using. It's $500 down payment allowance. You have a flip phone still hanging around, one of those old Motorola Razors? You know what I'm talking about. How about $550 down on down payment? You have a brick phone. Yes, a brick phone. I saw that our engineer Gary actually has one of those in the office. I don't think it's used, but still it's there. I'm like, wow, hey, I could take that, go over to Gwatney Chevrolet and get $600 down payment allowance, or maybe those vintage bag phones, $700 worth in down payment allowance. So don't go trade your phone in for another phone. You can trade that in for a new ride at Gwatney Chevrolet in Jacksonville, and all with no payments until after New Year's. I don't know what you're doing listening to me. How about I just tell you more about their great deals each and every day here on Out of Bounds, because they have no car maintenance for the rest of the year. They still get the new 2023 Silverados at 0% with approved credit, and they also have 2.9% on the 2024 Equinox. So check them out today. They got plenty of stuff going on when it comes to all the vehicles that you could ever need right there in Jacksonville off the Gregory Street exit at 1301 TP White Drive. There's a reason why they are Arkansas's #1 Chevy dealer. So check them out today at Gwatney Chevrolet and GwatneyChevrolet.com. Again, it's a Reaction Monday presented by Fleet Management Services, which had some great reactions coming in today, and keep those coming here in our second to last segment before we get into 3 and outs, and do so by calling or texting in 501-661-1037. And I tell you, it's amazing in like the NFL and in college football, there's coaches that come under fire and Think about what Nick Saban when he came under fire for just a little bit. And I think still even people there in Bama are kind of going after him. But nobody's getting it worse than Bill Belichick right now in the NFL. I mean, it's pretty incredible that, like even like Teddy Bruschi, I saw this morning on Get Up on ESPN. He says, I think Bill Belichick is considering retiring. He's like, I've always known Bill to only coach meaningful wins, division championships, playoff wins, and Super Bowls. The meaningful wins are now all for him. And I could see him stepping away from the game. So, somebody as iconic as Bill Belichick and the struggles they're having, like they're not happy in the Patriots organization, but man, that'd be also a weird thing to see Bill Belichick leaving and not being a part of the Patriots organization, considering he's been there for so long.
Well, it'd be even more odd to see him with another organization. And that's why there's the thought that he could retire, because if you're not coaching for the Patriots, why would you want to see him coaching elsewhere, even though other teams, other organizations, they will try to bring him in or have conversations if something does happen with the Patriots. But ultimately, for what he's meant to the Patriots organization, you would want him to step away and not coach anywhere else.
No, it would be a bad deal for everybody involved in that, especially when you think about how many Super Bowls that he's won and, going out on his own terms. And I know it's been bad this year, but you wouldn't want to see that change, because I guess if he decided to step away and not coach anymore, I guess would it be Mike Tomlin would be now the longest tenured coach in the NFL?
Yeah, or he and Andy Reid, but with one team, it would be Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, because Andy Reid was, I don't even remember when he took over the Eagles job. I guess it was like maybe late 90s, early 2000s. But yeah, as far as one spot, definitely would be Mike Tomlin. And then also in some other news, what was I going to bring up? It had something to also do with the NFL. I had to look at it. Oh, yeah. So when we were talking about the ending of the first half for the Bills, or for the Giants going up against the Bills and the bad clock management and everything, there's people that are saying that Brian Daboll needs to be fired because of how things have gone in Buffalo and hasn't looked as good. And Josh Allen got hurt and everything, and you had Tyrod Taylor coming in. But it's almost like the shine is worn off on him, where he was a coach that everybody was really high on and feeling good. But now Buffalo fans are a little uneasy about what's going on with their lack of success, especially with the Giants, excuse me, not the Bills, but the lack of success that they were expecting to take that next step forward.
It's so reactionary, though. They have one good season his first year in, and then we're 6 games into the second season. Now they're saying he should be gone. That doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's reactionary, and that's what fans are going to do no matter what. Like we see it here in the local side of things for Arkansas and for other schools around here, but even in the NFL too. If you have a high expectation and you don't live up to that high expectation, then the people are going to grab the pitchforks and want change and want things to be different and want it gone, whatever it is. And so I don't know. You can't run an organization like that. You can't run an athletic department like that. You got to take things into consideration about what your futures look like. But yeah, I just don't see it that way. But talk about for tonight in Monday Night Football, getting the Cowboys and the Chargers. This game being played there at SoFi Stadium. And Chargers sit at 2-2 so far this year. Cowboys are at 3-2. But we know that the Chargers are definitely up there when it goes to offense. Cowboys, according to Bet Saracen, is still favored by 1.5 in this game on the road. So at least a very close one. It could possibly be just like a pick'em game between these two.
Two very talented teams, and it could go either way. We know that the Cowboys defense is not playing as well as they did to begin the season. Chargers have an explosive offense. So you have a matchup of powers there, and Cowboys offense can be good at times. Chargers defense can be good at times.
And I'm not looking at the Cowboys and saying like, oh, you never had any chance before, but you would think that seeing the Eagles lose a game already yesterday, and now the Cowboys in at 3-2, if they win this one, they're just a game back from catching Philadelphia. They would be extremely motivated to go on the road and beat a Chargers team, which is a good team, but one that you should be able to beat if you want to be a legitimate contender and a legitimate thing into the division that you're in.
Chargers always seem to be in close games, and going back to last year or last couple of years, they've come up short in some of those games, and it seems like maybe they've turned it. If you look at what's happened the first few games where they have been able to pull out some of these close wins, and that's kind of something that defines their team each and every season. They seem to always play close games. It's a matter of, can they win those games, or are they coming up short and losing them?
Well, it cracks me up because, like you said, they lost to the Dolphins to start the year by 2 points. Then they lost to the Titans by 3 points. They beat the Vikings by 4 points. and then they beat the Raiders by a touchdown. And, they had their bye week, and that's where their records are at. So, yeah, every single game has been close. But then if you take the Dallas Cowboys and where they're at being 3-2, they destroy the Giants 40-0. They destroy the Jets 30-10. Then they lose to the Cardinals 28-16. Then they blow out the Patriots. But then they get smoked by the 49ers. So it's almost like the complete opposite, where they're pretty close as far as their wins and losses. But the Chargers have been in every game, and it's been really close down to the wire. The Cowboys have either blown out their opponent or they got blown out. Like, there's not been really in between. Cowboys have really, I guess, never really known what it's like so far this year to be in the game in the fourth quarter, or at least have the game on the line in the final drive, because it's just been weird how they've been so up and down with either getting dominated or dominating the other team themselves.
It's going to be interesting tonight, and that's what we love to see for some of these primetime games: Sunday night football, Monday night, Thursday night. We love to see these great matchups, and this, on paper, is a great matchup.
Is the Manning cast tonight? Are they bringing? Is that the thing? I always forget how the schedule works.
I think they may be taking a break. It's hard to keep up with what they do and which games they're on track for. But there is a schedule for the Manning cast, so we could take a look at that and see exactly what games they are going to broadcast.
Yeah, I've always wondered about that, because when it first started, I thought it was going to be a constant thing, like an every Monday night thing, but then found out last year that wasn't the case. And so it kept kind of going back and forth. But I guess for this one,
they're taking a break, and they'll be back next week for 49ers and Vikings.
Yeah, and then looks like they take another break. So you get a few bye weeks for the Manning cast. They take another break, and then they'll be back for the Chargers at the Jets.
Well, the thing about it, like, they're going to take a break in between a couple of games, and then week 9, they're going to go 9 through 13.
Yeah.
9 through 11.
Yeah. And then take off time and then come back. So, I mean, listen, we're on their schedule. It's Peyton Manning and Eli Manning. It's just it's pretty much like, all right, well, we'll do this. We're doing 10 games. These are the games we're going to do. And then, you just go along with it. But yeah, taking a break from it, and they'll be back next week. So it should be a great matchup. And a lot of Cowboys fans are hoping for the best tonight. And hopefully they don't go out on Monday Night Football and lay an egg, because it certainly seems like they could use some of the wins and trying to get back on course after suffering that horrible, horrible beating by the San Francisco 49ers last weekend. But we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll get to our final segment of the day. It is called 3 and Out, and we'll discuss some of the things that we didn't get a chance to get into, as well as some other fun headlines, and close up shop and get ready for Drive Time Sports. It's all coming up next.
Arkansas Brewskis is excited about their second location, and it's time to add to the team. Brewskis North is hiring servers, bartenders, cooks, and managers. To apply, drop by our downtown location and fill out an application. If you want to work in a fun, professional environment, this is for you. Brewskis North is hiring servers, bartenders, cooks, and managers. Apply in person at Brewskis Downtown. For more info, check us out online at brewskispubandgrub.com. Brewskis, your home for lunch, happy hour, and late night.
Hi, neighbor. It's Garen with Shamrock Roofing. Fall is upon us. Don't go into the cold, wet winter months wondering if your roof will hold up till spring. Get peace of mind today. For the next 30 days, we're offering a free impact-resistant roof upgrade. Plus, if you've been denied coverage by your insurance company after the storms, you qualify to win a new roof for free. Just visit shamrockroofer.com for more details. Shamrock Roofing, where one call does it all, at shamrockroofer.com.
I thought I was going to have to go through a hip replacement or some painful, unsuccessful surgery or be crippled the rest of my life.
Electrical engineer Dan Vogler had awful arthritic pain in his hips. Pain that not only affected him physically, but also emotionally. And it spilled over even to his relationships.
I was almost mean. If you're in pain and other people don't sympathize with it, you're lashing out at the wrong people.
But then Dan found QC Kinetics with the latest advances in regenerative medicine, non-surgical treatments with lasting relief.
I felt immediate relief. I mean, within half a day, much of the inflammation and pain was down.
And today, Dan says he's totally pain-free, living the life he wants.
At the end of the fourth treatment, I felt pretty much healed and enthused and was raving about QC Kinetics. I can recommend them highly to anyone.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 501-222-8440. That's 501-222-8440.
501-222-8440. 501-222-8440.
Klein tools are new at Lowe's, pros. Lowe's knows you want top brands and quality products, and Klein Tools delivers. Right now, get the Klein 3-piece ModBox mobile workstation for $319.94 and the Klein 5-piece cushion grip screwdriver set for just $34.97, both exclusively at Lowe's. Shop the largest selection of Klein tools, the highest quality tool brand at Lowe's. Because Lowe's knows tools, Lowe's knows pros.
Bring smiles to all when shopping online with Dell Technologies Gift Guide. Whether it's for the artist, the entrepreneur, the student, or the streamer, you'll find the perfect gift for everyone on your list. Dell.com/gift guide makes gifting easy with a carefully curated selection of our best tech. Shop now to explore our innovative PCs like the XPS 13 laptop, powered by the latest Intel Core processors, plus this season's top accessories. Visit Dell.com/gift guide today to get a jump on your holiday gift list. That's Dell.com/gift guide.
What's your Oak Lawn? Maybe it's lounging under a cabana at our sparkling pool, or unwinding with a massage at the luxurious Astral Spa. It could be dining in elegance, then hitting the casino for fun and high fives. And while you're here, you could explore thermal spas, dining and shopping on Bathhouse Row and Hot Springs National Park, just steps away from the resort. Discover your Oak Lawn. Make reservations today at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Heartland Rehabilitation and Care Center in Benton proudly offers compassionate and loving care to our veterans, meeting the unique needs of every veteran who calls Heartland home. Visit heartlandrehabcenter.com.
It's Kayak Chaos at Arts Marine. Pick your perfect kayak from their large inventory and start exploring the natural state. Right now, get 20% off feel-free kayaks. We also slash prices on Moken 10 and Lure 10 kayaks. Your granddaddy trusted Arts Marine, so should you.
Have a watch party that everyone wants to attend at your house with the best of meats in the business. Hoggs Meat Market, the steak people.
Kane is in the building. Their time is done. It's over.
Over? Did you say over?
Nonsense. I've not yet begun to defile myself.
Call Kenny Loggins because you're in the danger zone. I play real sports. Not trying to be the best at exercising.
It's time for 3 and Out. It's been 3 hours, and we are...
Boom. Out of here.
All right, it is time for 3 and Out. A few headlines, a few storylines, a few things that we got to dive into. Another thing I could have thrown into the worst of the weekend, but the NFLs can be really lame. You know, they call it the no fun league for a reason. Well, Tyreek Hill scored a touchdown for the Dolphins and had a fun little celebration where he took one of the people on the sidelines' cell phone and did his backflip with it. And it was pretty cool, whatever. And then he got flagged, and everyone's like, why is that getting flagged? It didn't seem like it was that serious. It didn't seem like he was taunting or anything like that. But apparently the person's phone that he set it up with was the official NFL United Kingdom Twitter account, the UK, which had uploaded the Tyreek Hill selfie video, but then they deleted the post. It says they probably, because it would look weird to promote the clip while simultaneously penalizing and ultimately fining Tyreek Hill. So I get that, but I'm like, man, I didn't see anything wrong with that play. You shouldn't have called a penalty on it, I don't think. And if you didn't, just let the video stay there. It was a really cool video of seeing him do a backflip, but sometimes it's just one of those deals that they think too much into it. But again, that I don't understand what the rules are half the time anyways in football, but I didn't feel like it was worthy of a penalty no matter what.
It's a penalty for using the prop. It was funny to hear Mike McDaniel talking about it, where he said that he pointed it out to Tyreek Hill. He said, you used the prop, and that's where the penalty came from. Just trying to explain it. He said that Tyreek said, well, man, it wasn't my phone. And so he kind of laughed about that. He's like, come on, man. I mean, it's a prop. It doesn't matter if it's your phone, somebody else's phone. It's a prop, and that's why it was a penalty. Chicago Bears quarterback Justin Fields has a dislocated right thumb. He's doubtful to play against the Raiders in Week 7. Coach Matt Eberflus said there's no timetable for his return or to know more about the injury as far as if he's going to play or not. He is listed as doubtful for now. And he said it's going to come down to grip strength and swelling. So they'll know more at the end of the week. He said, but his ability to grip the football is paramount in determining the next steps. Now, if Justin Fields can't go, it's going to be rookie quarterback Tyson Bagent, who's from D2 Shepherd University in Shepherdsville, West Virginia. And he did actually play in the game against the Vikings, and he was undrafted. So it may be if Justin Fields can't go for a certain amount of time, they bring in another quarterback or they elevate whoever the emergency quarterback is to the backup. Also, Ryan Tannehill, he left the game against the Ravens due to an ankle injury. Mike Vrabel was asked about his injury, and he said that he kind of hesitated to say that Ryan Tannehill won't be able to go. He was on crutches. Now, the good thing is the Titans have a bye coming up. They don't play again until October 29th against the Falcons, so they'll know more about what happens with Ryan Tannehill in the next couple of weeks. Malik Willis did get into the game against the Ravens, and so if he can't go, looks like it'll be Malik Willis, but there's a couple of weeks that they'll have to evaluate Ryan Tannehill. So a couple of starting quarterbacks in the NFL dealing with injury right now.
So ESPN had, they have their own issues when it comes to their broadcast, and people get tired of what they talk about. But still, they still have games, and people are excited about to watch the games. But it was really disappointing for many people as ESPN cut away from the number 6 high school football team in the country, driving down for a touchdown with 30 seconds left to go. Because that not only were people watching that game, but we're excited to see where it went and how it ended up. It's actually on ESPN too. Well, they cut away with 30 seconds to go and started playing an NBA preseason game. That was the reason why. Now, a lot of people would say, well, the NBA pays the bills a lot more than high school football. There's no doubt about it. But man, ended up being a huge upset of also the number 1 team in Buford, which was Mill Creek, ended up upsetting them. But they just cut off from the final drive. Horrible timing, something that I'm sure will be fixed in the future, hopefully is. But I get, you got the NBA, but man, just wait till at least the game's over if it's only 30 seconds to see what happens.
Dusty Baker was asked about Jordan Alvarez and why he's in the lineup. And so he had to answer questions about it. He said that because he struggled in game 1 against the Rangers, he said, well, he is in the lineup. And first of all, he's there because his name is Jordan. And number 2, the reports about him having a virus. I got a virus. Everybody has a virus. So he's fine. He's better today than he was yesterday. I mean, what is sick? And he kind of got a laugh and some looks from the reporters. And he said, no, I'm serious. I'm not being a smarty. I was telling somebody yesterday, as a responsible man, a family man, you go to work, And he says, he even told a story about his dad where he said, never saw my dad in bed ever, sick. And I'm sure he was sick. And sometimes as a man, you just go to work and that's just what you do.
So the AP poll came out for college basketball, the preseason AP poll, the very first one. And the AP poll literally does not matter in college basketball because it doesn't measure anything when it comes to who gets in the tournament and seeding and all that stuff. I know, but still, it's a nice little thing to see exactly what people feel about your team. Well, Kentucky fans are very upset. They felt like this was going to be a year that they could take those next steps, especially with a lot of talent. But they came out and they were ranked 16th in the country, and it's the lowest preseason AP poll ranking for Kentucky under John Calipari in their history. They were number 11. That was the lowest that they've been under Cal in the 2010-2011 season when they reached the Final Four that year. It's just the second time that Kentucky has been outside the top 10, and people are pretty fired up and irate about it. But as I would say, once again, the AP poll does not matter. It's about those net rankings. Worry about that. And if you start winning, people start believing in you. But for them to be so upset about the AP poll and everything, it's another thing to be upset about for no reason.
Floyd Mayweather is being charitable with the war going on in Israel. He had his plane send 5,000 pounds of supplies to Israeli civilians, and he just said that it's important to him, and he's been working with some friends for the cause to make sure that he was able to send the plane over with thousands of pounds of supplies.
So there's been a new report that's been put out talking about Adrian Wojnarowski and Shams. A lot of people, the guys that really have been in the way of the NBA and being an insider and knowing what they've been reporting on and all that. But there's been, according to the New York Magazine, a new development and some of the things that they do behind the scenes, like the longtime front office executive that was quoted in this story said that information comes from insider reporters that could even help a GM save a buck. Woj or Shams might say, hey, don't get levered up on this player X. He's not going to get an offer from his team. And then the executive said, there are times when they have information that has prevented me from making a mistake in terms of the magnitude of a contract offer or the inclusion of a specific asset in the deal itself. Don't know if that's true or if it's even that big of a deal if it goes on constantly, but it is certainly a little bit shady when you got the insiders who are using the insider information to help out other GMs. I don't think that players really like hearing that if it comes out to be true and may not divulge many things to them to give them the said reports.
Chris Evans revealed that he has gotten married. He says that he married Alba Batista in Boston, and they had 2 ceremonies, one on the East Coast and one in Portugal, where she's from. He said it's a lot of planning for a wedding. For those of you that are married, you know it takes a lot. And he said but now we're just enjoying life, gearing up for autumn, my favorite season. It's like the best time of the year. We're just relaxing, enjoying life, and reflecting. As far as the wedding itself, it was locked down where people that attended, they had to sign NDAs and turn off their cell phones. Several of Marvel's co-stars attended the ceremony. Jeremy Renner, Robert Downey Jr., Scarlett Johansson, and Chris Hemsworth. And while they were in Europe, they even ran into Harry and Meghan Markle.
Also love the fact that Iowa won a football game this past weekend on the road for throwing for 37 yards. It's still some of my favorite stats that'll ever happen for college football. Appreciate everybody listening in Out of Bounds today. For Joe Franklin, I'm John Nabors. Same sports show, same sports channel tomorrow afternoon. Stay tuned, folks. Drive Time Sports coming up next.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game.